Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Call of Duty Elite Challengers. This is, of course, another great day, our second day of incredible games to watch and break down. Of course, my name is Bryce, but I am not alone in doing this. Joining me here, of course, Ton and Ellen once again. Ellen, how are you today?
You know, Bryce, after getting that first casting jitters out of the way, I'm actually feeling really good today. Thank you so much for asking.
Well, I'm glad you're here again as well. We get into more Call of Duty action. And Ton, how are you?
Thank you for remembering that I'm here. You know, I just let you and Ellen have your little conversation. But no, I'm very, very well, mate. Thank you very much. A little bit tired, you know, after being up until 5 a.m. local time, but we absolutely live for it. So we're going to be doing it once again.
Hey, that's fine, because let's face it, we're all tired of you anyway. So it just puts us on even kind of ground. But on that note, let's go look at the format for Challengers Elite and see exactly how it is all going to go down. So, first of all, North American and European teams will both play a round robin in their respective regions for the first 2 weeks. The two teams in each region with the worst records at the end of the round robin will be eliminated. The two teams in each region with the best record will advance to the single elimination playoff bracket, and teams 3 and 6 will play in a double elimination bracket where two teams will advance to the playoff bracket. So that's how it all works, that's how it's all going to go down, and that's what we'll be taking you through over the next couple of weeks. But that's how this works. Who's actually in the system and who are we keeping an eye on? Well, we now have the standings for the European region. This is how it played out yesterday. Connect 4 went 2-0, so did Orgless. Rams, House Taff and Gangsters both went 1-1, the only difference of course being the map score, as you can see there. And so did Obtained Esports, but 0 and 2 were the starts for Team Singularity and Team 3G. Fortunately, they have lots of work to do today. We'll all be seeing 3G later on in a game as well. So there is a ton of games that have already happened. There's actually more games than I thought would happen. It's kind of crazy just how much has actually gone down. But let's move on, shall we, and take a little look at the next region for this one. Of course, the North American region. Those games come later on. We have Wester, Subliners, and the UT crew, all with great starts as well. 2-0. Wester only dropping one map yesterday. Then we have Higher and Team Z. Both went 1-1. And then, of course, unfortunately, from 6th to 8th, we have Mocky, Mr. Mid Maps, and Built by Gamers having identical bad starts to their series, 1-6 and 0-2 in series score. All right, Ton, that is a lot of games we got through yesterday. Anything there surprising you?
I think Connect 4 was fantastic start in the European side. It doesn't necessarily surprise me so much. It's one of those things that I thought, you know, they would get better as time goes on, but they came out the gates completely swinging. So it's interesting to see if they can continue this. And as far as disappointments in the European region, I think Singularity is maybe one they'll be looking at that and coming 0 and 2 out of the first day. Not necessarily the best thing, but no surprise to see Wester at the top of the NA side, looking very, very top heavy there. So interested to see how things play out, and we'll get some good games this evening on that side of things as well.
Well, I'll tell you something, we certainly do. Before we go too deep into how all the teams did yesterday, let's take a look at the games we have coming up today. Here is our schedule for our broadcast this evening. First of all, we will be starting with Rams versus Obtained Esports. Then it will be Team 3G versus Orgless. And when we switch over to our North American games, we will be watching the Subliners Academy versus Built by Gamers. And then Team Z versus the UT crew. But let's talk about our very first game then, because that is very, very important. Rams versus Obtained Esports. That is a game we are about to watch. Ellen, these two are about to go and throw down on our stage here on our broadcast. What do you think?
You know, Rams, that is a stacked team. They're actually looking kind of scary right now. You know, you have Metals, Lucky, Journey. Between the two, I really see them taking it, but you never know. Obtained Esports might have something up their sleeve. Both teams have the same record, 1-1, so it's kind of hard to say. You know, you never know, but that team full of veterans, I'm really leaning kind of towards Rams on this one.
Okay, that's an interesting take. Ton, what about you? Do you go with the same there? I mean, Rams, if I remember correctly, won the last game between these two.
They did. I think it's a very hard one to call, if I'm honest with you. I was very excited when I seen this game and the schedule coming up for today. Obtained are a very, very solid roster, but I think the fact that they actually lost Harry to Orgless is a little bit of a stinger. Of course, as mentioned, they did go 1-1, Obtained losing 3-1 to House Tarth, and Rams actually went on to lose to Connect 4. So interested to see if these two can bounce back. I think it's a hard one to call. I'm going to go with Obtained just because we need to get Ellen away from getting all these correct. So we have to go against it. At some point, we'll get it right. So we just need to remove her away from that as soon as possible. But I would probably have said Obtained anyway. I'm a big fan of the squad. I think, it'll take time to get there anyway with them, with getting a hold of Chain, but excited to see how the game goes down.
All right, I'll tell you what, this is how the game is going to go down. We have our maps here ready and waiting. Checkmate Hardpoint, Checkmate Search and Destroy, then Raid Control, and then we will have Moscow Hardpoint if we get to our 4th map, and then Miami can be the very last map we end up seeing here in this one. Of course, double checkmate to start this one. It's a map that a lot of people end up actually loving. We'll see whether or not the teams do as well. Let's hand it over now to our casters for this one. It will be Tun and Ellen. Please take it away.
Thank you very much, Brycey. And day number 2 of the Elite Challengers here in Europe, and very, very excited to get into this game. Rams were a team I was looking at and expecting them to do big things, but coming out 1-1 after day number 1 is not how they would have wanted to start it. The same for Obtain, though. They're very much a team, Ellen, that want to be towards the top. These two very much in the contention of top 4 teams in Europe, and going up against each other early here in the Elite Challengers, it's a good way to kick off day number 2.
Yeah, definitely, Chris. In this map, it's so tricky and it's hard to say. Like you said, both teams are so well stacked. We're definitely going to see a lot of slaying power from both of these teams and locking down this map. And just a little bit of a contest hill here at the beginning here, hopping on board with Journey. It looks like already good start for them, for Rams. They got 2 down off the break, and again, this plane control is just so key, so crucial for this map. That and the A Street, and you see already well, it's just contested. You can't really necessarily fight too well on this hill because it's always the first hill is always contesting. But it already looks like Rams is off to a pretty good start, but starting off 13-0, that's a pretty good lead they got going on here.
Decent enough start. Of course, what you really want to be looking towards on this one is the rotation over towards P2, which Obtain do have a holdout, but yes, you're very right. Arms will be more than happy to pick up that amount of points from the first hill, but we'll maybe not read into it too much. Callum is going to find 2 on the rotation, though, as they look to lock themselves in here for P2. But for me, looking at these two squads, I'm looking at the ARs. Let's see how they do. Nvidian is someone who has had some criticism come his way in his time in this Rams squad, which has been since the beginning of the Cold War season. He's had some inconsistencies, and if he does against a team like Obtain, they're really going to struggle on the AR front, especially on a map like this. But, of course, the SMG is very, very strong on the Rams side. Metals finds 2 on the break, nicely done. And they will completely nullify the fact that Obtain won those rotations. Now belongs to Rams, 36 seconds to go here on P2.
Yeah, like you said, because they had that initial rotation there off the break, but Rams with that slaying power, they actually cleared them out, and now they took control, holding all these points, sucking up these points, and it's actually key because, now we got 20 seconds left on the clock. We should start to see a rotation here coming in, but, they're still kind of getting that back spawn, but Obtain's doing a great job of holding the new hill setting up, and as you can see already, we got Connor already locking down that plain hill, getting set up for P3, and, they actually take control of that, and, they could be in a very good position to come back here on this 3rd hill.
It's a hard one to get a lot of hold of points, though, isn't it? Over towards P3, it's a difficult push, but Hixie holding the cross now and is going to be challenged by Journey, and who will not win that gunfight. And all of a sudden, the flurry of Rams kills come through, make that all 4. Now they can get some control, and this is where you can pick up points on this hill. Split spawn's going to come through, though, so that's probably going to work out on Obtain's favor. They need to try and slowly push this one, but looking at the spawns here on the Ram side, as well as Hixie finds the kill in the middle, Ram's going to be spawning out towards P4 side. So not necessarily the worst spot for the Rams to be in, even though they have been broken. Good work by Obtain, though. Kills flying in either side of things, but Obtain are able to lock this down. And if anything, it was a little bit too easy to get a hold of this control here, Ellen.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like you said, this hill is kind of harder because it's underneath the plane. You're going to be fighting on those lanes, getting control, getting set up. But Rams is doing really good on that. But, don't count Obtain Esports out yet. They got actually a lot of good time on that hill. But, here we have it. Rams is actually set up for P4. Obtain is actually set up for P4, but they have that, for checkpoint, it's actually kind of crucial to get that trap going on into the, the corner of the map. They always try to like, plan for that, but for the most part, Rams still kind of get control in that slaying power again, and you can see spawns actually flipped out. So now Obtain is actually spawning out, and now Rams has control of that hill, right back at it again.
It's back and forth between these two. Nobody really able to establish a good amount of control. It's like 4 kills come in for one team, 4 kills come in for the other. There hasn't been a big stack of points for either team really at all since probably the first hill, where the deficit is probably about the same as it was. Looking towards this rotation though, P5 coming up very, very short. Rams are the ones that are setting up for it. Nvidian is already there. The kills are going to come through Obtained, who seem to have really good punching power coming through that front area of the hill. Really good work with heading over. Nvidian really needs to stay alive as the rest of the team coming off respawn. Hixie now maybe in a spot to cause some havoc. Journey will find the kill. It's an important one at that as well. They lock down the spawns. They keep a hold of them as well. Now coming in through the front door. Which way is it going to go? Callum finds the first kill. Managed to get some points on the hard point now, and it has to be pushed out here by Rams. Callum in a good spot. The rest of his team holding down. Lucky will fall. Anybody else in here for the challenge as well? Journey's going to be there and will find the kill. Rams still at the back of the spawn. They really haven't found too many points for having that side door, and all of a sudden they are able to get back in, but you would have liked to see maybe a bit of an extension from the Rams side there.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, it's kind of crazy because, they actually still kept control of it, but Obtain is actually doing a really good job of playing the opposite side of the spawns and still kind of gaining control of that. You can see Rams is trapped in that corner. Callum is doing a wonderful job there, holding down, locking down that plane, getting set up for the new hill. You see he's just kind of waiting around, waiting for his teammates to come in. And then there you have it. Metals actually kind of takes him down. But again, Obtain Esports is a really, really good position right now for this first hill, but you can't count Rams out because again, there you have it. The slaying power coming in. Look at Lucky there with a 19 and 9. He's actually going off right now for the squad.
And that might be the difference. Lucky using the XM4 on this map specifically, having a good time of things at 19 and 9. And the problem is you have to answer back to something like that, don't you?
Yeah, no, for
Continuing
sure.
the slay finds a second and maybe even a third sprint through the wall. Can't quite get there, Alan, but good work from Lucky so far. Well pointed out. 21 and 9 out of 10.
Yeah, he's going crazy right now. Actually, absolutely, like on a 6-kill streak. You got to shut him down. But like you said, the power of the XM4s is just so strong right now. And you can actually already see a rotation coming in from Nvidian right now, getting set up for that P2 hill, locking down that back blue control there. And, Callum's just kind of doing a good job contesting that P1. But you see the rotation in from Obtain Esports. And, it's really well, like how well Rams is actually locking this down. But as I say that, there you go. Obtain actually gets the kills in the back. Now they have complete control. All they got to do is just lock this down, watch those lanes, and they can easily come back and have a lead change here.
Chain now trying to hold down up top lane as well and finding 2 kills. The new man on the roster here for Obtain. They lost one of their best players in Harry over towards that Orgless squad. Chain's going to come in, and questions were raised whether Chain was really the right replacement. Undoubtedly has the talent, but there's been other issues in previous teams. He was on that S&G roster for what seemed like 2 minutes in this game, and ultimately they decided to go with him. Now finding himself unobtained. Would find those 2 kills in the middle of the map, but it's not really going to matter now. Those last 10 seconds going to go over towards Rams. We had the first real decent lead here throughout this first map. Rams very much in the lead with about a 70-point difference, but looking towards the rotation over towards P3. It's going to be Rams in here firstly, but can they find the fights? Not this time around. Connor will take down Metals, but Lucky's able to answer back in fight 2. They need to stop letting Lucky find these kills, which he is just keep on getting. Really good play from him, 24 and 13. Nvidian's there with the AR as well, and a really good performance out of him with 18 and 15. The ARs are dominant for the Rams squad.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if they really want to come back on this, Obtain, they really need to shut them down. Doing such a good job. You see Connor right here locking down this lane, getting a couple shots in on Lucky. But if they can come back and those AR step up, they'll definitely have a lead change here. And there you have it. They have it, holding this point, and it's actually it's so well how well you can see the early rotations coming in from on the side of Chain. You see them holding that down, getting set up for P4. And they actually got a couple points on that hill. Now, if they can get set up here, easily can come back. But, the slaying power coming in from Rams is just, it's so well right now.
It's looking good for them, but 4 kills going to come in here for Obtained, and that's Chain picking up a few. 2 in a row for him, and Callum finding 3. All of a sudden, that deficit now was around 70 points is being cut down. It's about 40 now. 45 seconds remaining here, and they've got a nice little setup. They would have the rotation over towards P5, but we still got a full 40 seconds to go here. Invidian and Journey finding kills on the way in. Can they keep going? Connor and Callum holding, but look at the spawns coming in here from Obtain. They may be able to get a hold of as well. Callum staying alive there might be crucial. It's going to go down nonetheless, but Rams managed to break on through, but on the outset, Obtain keep on coming back, and the grenades and the utility coming on through. That will shut down Obtain, trying to get back in this hill, but they are still picking up points momentarily. The deficit has been reduced here, Ellen. Obtain definitely back into this game.
Yeah,
Lucky has slowed down ever so slightly, but look at these rotations. It looks like it's going to belong to Obtain. Does Rams pick up the scrap? Rams going to only be around 38 points away, but Obtain very much in this game now.
Yep, exactly. That's all they needed. They needed to just lock that hill down, get control back, and, you know, like you said, easily coming back into the game. And now you have it set up. Hixie's already set up here on the new point. They got control fully of this P4 hill, and, you know, as long as they lock this down, they can easily have a lead change here. And, you know, here you are hopping on board with Callum here, who's actually getting that mid-plane control. You know, controlling plane is just so key, so crucial. But as I say that, there you go. They're getting those kills in. And, ooh, Callum goes down there by Invidian. Out, and Chain goes down by Lucky. You know, it's going to be hard if they can come back from this, but it looks like Rams, the slaying power, is kind of slowed down a little bit. Obtain is kicking him back up into gear. And here we have it. Pixie spawning out. Now that and Obtain spawned out, and now Rams has complete control of that hill.
Yeah, really good push there by the Rams squad. Pixie's going to find one and the second into the plane, though, as we head over to a third rotation. Rams with a 23-point lead and another kill for Hixie. That's 3 in a row. He's going to be able to lock the plane down. 55 seconds remaining on this one, so they more than can win this here, Obtained Esports. 24 and 26 out of him. He's going to need to continue to hold. Here comes the pinch, though. Doesn't see one get past. It might actually help him out. Finds another one and lines them up for the next couple of kills if he can. Invidian towards the end goes down, and Callum is there to help. For the first time, we're about to see Obtain take the lead. It's been Rams all the way through, but at the time where it does matter, Obtain comes screaming back. 20 points for them to win here. They've got plane completely locked down, the Rams. They've got to find a way through. Hixie still holding this angle. 4 in a row from him. He will go down. Metals & Co trying to make this push. Journey is going to be there to follow up as well. Connor finds one. Chain another. Lucky is there to trade things out. 15 points to go. They can't win here, Rams. But Obtain now setting up shop. This rotation over towards P2. It's a big kill by Lucky. Will take down Hixie. Connor finds one onto Journey, and Callum waiting for the push. Connor finds another on the other side of the map. They need to get rid of Lucky. They can't find him, and they look at the spawns towards the back hill, and it's going to be there for Rams. But Obtained in the lead, 240 to 238. Metal's now trying to make the push through. They've got a pinch set up. Callum with a huge win, though. Lucky and Invidian through the front. Can they get it done? Here with Callum. 4 seconds to go. The rest of the Rams squad gonna come in here. 248 is gonna be enough as Connor finds another 2. Obtained inside the hill. Metals is gonna go as well, but Obtained are gonna do it. 250 to 238. What a game number 1.
Wow. Wow. It really was looking like Rams was actually going to take that. You know, they came out so strong, you know, those AR slaying presence. And, oh, man, it was just crazy. Look at that.
Crazy game between those two to kick things off. I don't know if I should have went full send on first map. But what a fantastic performance out of these two. Rams had the lead all the way through. It comes down to that rotation over towards P1 on that third rotation round, I should say. And it comes down to Hixie. He finds 2 or 3 kills on the entry, slips by over towards the backstairs P5 side. Once he finds those kills, they can't get rid of him. 3 or 4 kills in a row. All of a sudden, they pick up a good amount of time. They got the rotation. We had a split spawn towards the back. I mean, I was just trying to compute everything that was going on at the same time because there was so much happening. But in the end, it is going to be Obtained to take it. If you're Rams, you're going to be super disappointed to how that one went. But, I mean, what did you think of game number 1? What a way to kick things off.
Yeah, that was definitely a way to kick things off. And, you know, like you said, just that rotation there, and they had control. And oh my gosh, let's just take a look at the replay on that map. That was just literally so crazy.
Yeah, back and forth across the board. Let's have a look at how it did go down. If you did miss any of that map, then you need to go back and watch the VOD of that one between these two teams. So close. But, I mean, the story of the majority of the game was Rams in the lead.
yeah, they had the control of that. You know, you had those ARs just locking everything down, getting those kills, and you know, it really did look like they were just going to completely destroy them. It was like almost 120 point deficit almost. But you know, Obtain did a really good job at just, you know, coming back. I don't know, maybe they just weren't warmed up yet, but they just really just came back, took control, and like you said, it was just such a nail biting hard point right there, and it was definitely a great way to start things off.
Really, really solid performance. And honestly, the Rams, the ARs were winning the battle. Look at it. I mean, the difference is Connor at 19-26 couldn't keep up for the majority of the game. But ultimately, it comes down to the fights towards the end. And this was it from Hixie. 3 in a row. And that's what set things up really nicely for Obtain. Rams broke through at the last second, but Obtain's already had the rotation over towards P2. Connor finds 3 massive kills towards the end. And that makes all the difference. Rams then have to fight from the front. So difficult to do. And in the end, it is going to be Obtain to take map number 1. And we stay on checkmate, going over towards Search and Destroy, though. And based on what we've seen there, I mean, what are you feeling? We said that it's a very, very close game. I'm not too sure which way this one goes. Checkmate coming up, Raid is there. And then, of course, Moscow and Miami if we do need them. But it's a hard one to call. Heading in S&D, what are we feeling about this game?
You know, I actually heard that, you know, I'm still going to lean in favor of Rams on this one. I actually heard that Metals was like one of the best S&D players actually on the Spanish side. So, you know, I'm curious to see what actually he's going to bring to the table for Rams. But, like, you know, Obtain Esports, can't necessarily count them out. That AR dominance there, it coming in and you know, it's just going to be a tough matchup. This is really tough to say because that last game was just so close, you know. But I'm still going to stay in favor of Rams on this one just because they have, you know, those SD monsters on the beast, and you know, but again, can't count out Obtain. But it's gonna be exciting to watch. I'm excited to see.
You really can't count out Obtain at all after that first map. We seemingly counted them out for the majority. To be honest, Rams just looked in complete control, but heading over towards Checkmate Search and Destroy is obviously very, very different. I'm curious to see if the ARs are really going to make the difference once again. Typically on Checkmate, that is what makes the difference. It does come to down to those AR rolls and the setup for them as well, watching the lanes. S&D, though, very, very different. We've seen some games on this map yesterday specifically. It's about that playing control once again. It's, you know, the same theory for the map. You've got to play for that playing control throughout the majority of that. Comes down though to winning rounds because you've got good playing control, because you're able to find the kills in there. We say that it's AR dominant to a certain degree. Yes, it is in the lanes, but when you get up close and personal inside that plane, it's not necessarily about the ARs. The SMGs need to perform as well.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what level of aggression, you know, both teams bring, because like you said, lock down the lanes with the ARs, but when it comes to that mid plane push, definitely that 74U just pushing in there, being aggressive, holding those corners, it definitely comes down to those like key gunfights. So just curious to see how this team utilizes it. Maybe we won't see B pushes, maybe we'll see A, you know, but just definitely curious to see how it goes.
We'll find out very, very shortly. We're loading in a second, but what a good game that was to kick things off. And if things go like that throughout the rest of the broadcast, I'll be a happy little bunny. We had quite a few strong-sided games from some of the teams yesterday. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, and then a 3-1. So we haven't really necessarily had too many close ones on broadcast so far. I have a feeling that this one really could go the distance between these two, but Obtain to get it done in map number 1. And for me, you know, I look at this Obtain squad and I sort of a little bit disappointed not to see Harry still on there. He was so good in this lineup, and Obtain were really putting themselves as like a top 2-3 team in the European region. Chain comes in though, and he's in a really good spot for this team as well, though. It has to be said, he's a very, very good player, but I'm not 100% sure if I would say that he's as good as Harry on this game from what I've seen personally. It feels like it will take time for this squad to start to adapt to having Chain on there as well, but hopefully they can get things up and running very, very shortly. The ARs eventually coming through after a bit of a slow start on map number 1. Can they get it done here in map number 2 as we head into Checkmate Search and Destroy? Rams need to find a way back into this one. Obtain 1 to the good.
Yeah, and then, you know, and it looks like we might need to reset the game.
Yeah, we're going to have a reset on that one,
right
of course,
back.
but I mean, for you, what's the win condition when we look towards Checkmate Search and Destroy? Is it that playing control? Is it your ARs performing down those side lanes? It's really, for me, personally, about that playing control. You have to make sure that you win those initial gunfights. And if you can do, you're in a really good spot. But there's not many of them on the other side of things. It's one of these things where it comes down to making sure you win that gunfight, making sure you have those trades on that bomb site, and not letting that bomb site sort of become a little bit free. You can hold up so many different angles to stop them making the push, but once they're in there, it's very, very hard to then find that angle. So I don't know what your opinion is on what the win condition is here for one of these squads. What is the best way to play Checkmate Search and Destroy?
I agree with you there. I feel like just getting into that plane, controlling the plane, getting that bomb down and holding those lanes, because you can actually see the bomb site from from the lanes, like the A lane. You can actually see if they cross through those windows. It all comes down to the control there. But yeah, it looks like we might be resetting again.
Yeah, seem to be having some issues. I seem to be having some issues, so I do apologize about that.
No, I do apologize.
Third time's the charm, hopefully. But
yeah,
I think what you were saying. It's very much about that control on this game. But having a look towards these two teams, obviously 1-1 in the league so far for both of them, and you really do not have too many games to play. Of course, there's 8 teams, so 7 games. Every single game counts, and I think both these two teams won't be too worried necessarily so far. I think you realistically look at it, I said that it's very hard to distinguish a standout team in Europe at this moment in time. So I think these results coming in 1-1. You're going to win some games on your good day, then that some teams otherwise will lose on their bad day. It's one of these things where the record doesn't matter too much at this moment in time. It's the teams who are 0-2, Singularity and 3G. That's the ones I'm a little bit concerned about. We are actually going to get to see 3G against Orgless after this one. But going back to this game, a 2-1 record coming into their second game. Of course, these players, I'm just having a look who these have got to play as well today. So Obtain have got to play Gangsters, and Rams have got to play SMG. So Rams, if they can win this one, they will be thinking to themselves that they can get a win against SMG as well, who are 0-2. And then Obtained, of course, going up against Gangsters. That'll be a very, very hard game after Gangsters beat House Star 3-0 yesterday. I mean, look, we got a hell of a table looking already. I mean, we've only got 2 teams at 2-0, Connect 4 and Orgless. That's probably going to change towards the end of the day as well. I'm looking who they're going to be going up against. So Orgless have got Connect 4 themselves and 3G. So Connect 4 and Orgless is actually going on right now. So 2 teams who are 2-0 are playing each other at this moment in time. So we'll keep an eye on that, how that game is going. Hopefully we're ready to load into this game very, very shortly. But everything seems just so tight here in Europe.
Yeah, between 2 teams, I think the standings, both Obtain Esports and Rams, they're both 1-1 in the series. So like you said, this matchup, it's just really hard to say who's going to win. It can kind of go both ways. They're both pretty even. And, it's so hard to tell because both teams are so evenly stacked. So it kind of comes down to that like momentum factor, right? Like, it just who can come out on top, who can actually have the higher momentum. And like you said, at this point, records kind of don't really matter. There's not really like too much. Oh, of course, there's pressure. But between both teams, they're just so evenly stacked, and it's just hard to say.
It really is, but we should be able to load into this one very, very shortly. I said Singularity and 3G sitting at the bottom there, but Obtain and Rams both at 1-1 will want to find themselves a good enough win here if they can potentially get it. Obtain are the ones in the lead, and we are nearly ready to get into this game. Looks like we're about to load in, and hopefully we can get things started. But of course, it seems as if the lobby is having some issues here, Ellen. But you had your first day casting yesterday, of course, and into day number 2. How are we feeling? How did you feel it went? Did you feel as if you eased into it a little bit?
Yeah, I guess that's the nice word of saying eased into it. But for the most part, everyone and you all have been so supportive. It's gonna be a journey, but I'm excited and I'm ready for it. So day 2, here we go. But for the most part, I do feel more comfortable. And it's just it's just one of those things that it's just gonna take time, practice, and lots of studying to do, but for the most part,
it's the same as playing, really. It's just the same as playing.
No, it's not
more
the
difficult.
same.
More difficult.
I think it's more difficult, to be honest. Because at least if I'm playing, I'm just worried about myself and my team. It's kind of like what you have to look at both sides of the spectrum, but you definitely get a different insight. That's for sure.
Well, hopefully, 3rd time is the charm to get into this game. Rams looking to bounce back after what will be a disappointing game. It has to be said, they were in the lead for the majority, and now heading into the search and destroy. I said, it's all about that plane control. It's all about that push over towards B. Journey and Code Up on the attack first time around, and Obtained will have to defend this B bomb site.
Yeah, it's like the test of patience here, you know. Everybody's just getting set up. They kind of know what they're doing, but Chain getting shots into metals there, couple ticks, but he's just gonna lock that plane down, and then, you know, Connor, have him kind of just inching towards that bomb site. You know, it looks like they're actually gonna make a plant here. Maybe they get this bomb down, but Obtain knows kind of what's happening. They're gonna inch their way to the bomb.
And I love that from Rams there. They just get control of the bomb site. They force them away so they can get that plant down. Journey gets out as well. So Obtain now need to retake this one. It's not an easy thing to do. Look at this pressure that's going to be coming in from under the right wing. It looks as if the flank is going to be coming through, but Metals are lucky. Are watching it 4v2 in favor of Rams. Chain will find one though. Can they find a second coming in here? Chain takes some bullets. Is Connor there to help him out? Not quite. He goes down, but Chain finds the second. 1v2 to him. Will be challenged. Well played by Rams. Gets that bomb down after some good distraction techniques and hold that one out very, very easily. 1-0.
Yeah, Rams definitely did a good job there at just, you know, playing patiently, inching their way towards that bomb site and getting it down. Just getting in those key positions is just so crucial for this plane hill, or, you know, right there. And they just did such a good job at that. But now we're going to see them try to defend it, because now Obtain is attacking. So let's see how, I'm just curious to see how well they actually execute this. Kind of the same play, like you said, always fighting for that B bomb site.
Let's see though. Can Rams defend it a little bit better? It seems as if they're not really stacking bodies towards the back of B this time around. Journey just getting super aggressive on the defensive side of things. And, you know, it's one of the things about the Spanish squads. We always used to say that they were very, very aggressive on the search and destroy. Kind of play a little bit brain dead at times. It was one of these things where they just kind of just run. But it works out for them. It's that unpredictable playstyle that's so hard to play against.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I don't think Obtain was expecting that, you know, kind of the same plays, just getting this plane control and just playing patient. But he definitely opened up the map there just by hurry up and rushing and catching them off guard. And it looks like actually Journey's there again, trying to catch him off guard. But no, Chain shut him down, anticipating that. And he's going to back up. But again, now that left Chain in a 1v3 situation. So this is going to actually be hard to retake. But he's actually inching up right here on Metals. He might get them. Oh, no! God, Botch, that's not good. But, you know, it's kind of hard when they're actually had the full plane control. He's in that corner. It's just really hard to retake it once they have complete control.
So there we go. Kill will come through. 2-0 to Rams, looking good on the search and destroy here. Journey 3-1, Metals 3-0. Fantastic start on their side of things. Where's the push going to come through, though? Looking like it's going to be towards B once again. Obtained with the spray through the walls there as they can shut anything down. Once again, both teams getting very, very aggressive on the defensive side of things. And this round, let's see. Callum can't quite find the kill, though. The pressure is there. He's been able to step up a little bit. But once again, the ALs of that Rams squad just picking apart Obtained. Inside the plane, good shots by Callum, though. He'll find Metals, and that might open things up 2v3.
Yeah, Kane is doing a really good job at locking that down here this time around, but, you know, left in a 2v2 situation, Journey 3-1 right now. He's actually doing really good for the squad. Hopefully he can keep up that momentum and, you know, they can close this one out. But as I say that, you know, you got Obtain Esports kind of backing up and locking this down. 3v2 situation, excuse me, actually. But if he can actually maybe be able to push in here and get this bomb site down, a couple shots in there on Hixie. Hixie knows who's at. Callum actually, but Obtain Esports with that, they did a really good job at locking that plane down. So it was actually really hard to retake, and it was really a test of patience there. They did a really good job.
Yeah, really well played. They just play the trading game in the end towards the middle of the map, and will find themselves around. Well played. 2-1 now. Stop the bleeding as Rams were looking very, very solid. Connor at 0-3 though. You need your ARs to really be on a level of finding these kills and holding these lanes down. But Obtain's turn to attack. Which way do they go? Looking like a B hit. You see Chain around the right hand side. He's going to look for picks towards the lower stairs side, but Obtain now making that push forward very, very far up, and Callum in a spot to maybe try and do something here. Running towards the grenade. Questionable, but in the end gets away with it. shots is going to find them, but Callum's going to come in there and get the trade. Really, really well played by Obtained, and Hixie just baited one of the players out. All of a sudden, Callum's in a perfect spot to try and turn this one around. They may be able to force that one player away. That's going to be Metals, staying alive as best as he can. Look at this number 7, though, coming in here from Obtained. That's going to be Chain pushing around the outside. He's going to cause absolute havoc, you would think. Here he goes. He is going to find the kill, as did Connor on the lucky. Now Metals left all alone in a 1 versus 3. The spray through the plane. Fantastic stuff from Obtained. Picked them apart there, 2 apiece.
Yeah, and like you said, Connor, he was 0-3 in the beginning there. He had to kind of step it up. I know Chain actually had a couple of kills the first 2 rounds, but now it looks like, there you go, kind of warming up again. Obtained coming back in this series. Looking pretty good, but you know, like you said, this game is just so hard to tell who's going to win because, you know, both teams are so evenly stacked. It's definitely a test of patience, though, in this plane. I tell you, here we go again. Hopping towards that plane. It looks like Rams is actually going to play that B bomb site, but a little bit of more of aggression here from Obtain Esports, kind of just pushing in, getting into those corners and stopping it, you know, not letting them plant that bomb.
Ixie going to go down as Journey just catches him out. Now Metals finding the kill on the Callum and just being picked apart maybe a little bit too easily. Chain gets in though to help his teammate out. Lots of bullets going to be coming in. Chain is in danger here as well. Rams just collapsing in and around the right sides that they need to and finding the kills inside the plane. Just started off so well for the Journey. Lovely shots on the Hixie.
You think maybe Obtain
another as well?
Yeah, and you think maybe they played it a little bit too aggressive there? It's kind of like he was looking out on that A wing there, and Drain just kind of popped up and popped him right there. So maybe they played a little bit too aggressive on that side. I'm not sure what happened there, but as I say that, here we go. Hopefully Obtain come back here and work that B plant site again, but maybe played a little bit more patient because it seemed like that. You know, the test of patience and waiting for those players to come in and just getting those picks from those ARs, it was working well for him.
Oh, I was about to say, Connor hasn't been performing. That's a fantastic shot onto Lucky, though. It's suddenly a 3 versus 2 in favor of Obtained. Back and forth between these two teams all the way through. Callum's going to find one. Has the trade going to be there as well as now he's going to be shut down. It is actually going to be Connor who was covering. Metal's now looking for the kill, but Callum looking to try and avenge his teammates. It's a 2v1. They have to take their time here. Metal's now in a spot to do something. Chain will find him, and these two teams are just trading rounds here, Alan. Backwards and forwards, 3 apiece.
Yeah, it's so evenly matched. Like you said, back and forth. Connor stepping it up. Look at those AR shots. It's just so well. These teams are just so evenly matched. But it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see maybe if we might have an A push this time around. You know, I would like to hope that maybe Rams has a A strategy. It's just, you know, we see B so much. It's just interesting to see.
It's a hard one to push though, isn't it? I mean, they're both
hard.
Are.
Yeah.
Build up. Set up on the Obtained side of things in terms of SMGs inside of the hill, but the Lucky and Journey actually going to find those 2 kills. Metal's going to find Chain. This is a very, very quick round for the Rams. My goodness. Ran through the Obtained Esports lineup.
I literally just blinked. I just blinked and the round ended. Whoa.
So fast. Oh, God. I mean, that is terrifying. If you're holding that angle as Metal's now coming on through, Hixie doesn't have time to react. And there you go. Another round for the Rams. 4-3 now. Looking to tie the series up. Obtained still finding themselves behind, but they were behind the whole game in game number 1. Can they bounce back here in the search and destroy?
Yeah, hopping on board with Chain, who's 6-5. Oh, now we're going back to Metals. Metals is actually 9-3 on a 2 streak, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep that up. But it looks like Obtain is actually pushing in towards that C-bomb side. A little bit more aggression. Shots in coming in from Journey. He got naded by Hixie. That's likely to be happening if you don't have trophies set up. But here we go. Obtain actually has the bomb down. Trying to see if we can actually retake this here. Obtain is actually in a really good position.
It's a really hard retake. Hixie has to be careful. Has to check the bomb side, but Metals will go down. Nvidian and Lucky got to take on 3 members of Obtained. 22 seconds. Connor going to be holding the outside as well, but look at this. They're going to line up for Lucky. And Connor now left in a 1 versus 2. Have they got a good idea where he is? Has to check the bomb site. Will get him off it. Is it going to be in time here for Lucky taking a hold of it? He's played it so well, has Connor, and just jumps up and checks it. 1v2 out of Connor, 4-4. This search and destroy has been back and forth, but what a play out of Connor. This was Lucky finding the 2, and I mean, that's an oversight from Obtained, it has to be said, but Connor gets them out of jail. 4-4.
Yeah, as I said that too, it was harder to retake, and Rams actually did a really good job at getting them all down, but Lucky coming in with that. It's just, wow, that was just so well played by him. So well played. And here we have it. I think you're actually going to make a B push again. There you go. Actually, yep. Connor get a couple shots in there. Hixie actually takes down Metals, leaving it Obtained in a very good position. 4v3. Again, maybe we might.
Yeah, it's maybe a nice shot. Maybe. I think Nvidian's maybe just playing. Just having a look around there to see what he can do with it. Metals is down though. 9 and 5 out of him so far. Really has been causing havoc with the SMG up close and personal. But Journey and Cope stuck underneath the plane here. Don't really know which direction to go. That was a big round for Obtain to get a hold of. Lucky to try and find the first pick, but Callum's going to be there to trade for his teammate who took a couple of bullets. Nvidian will find Hixie up. 3v2. In favor of Obtained is now 2v2. Nvidian having a good round here. 2 kills for him. And what's the push? Obtained. Are they ready and waiting for this one? Journey. He's not going to find anything with that one. Callum from the wing side is going to find him, but Nvidian finding one, looking for the ace. It's him against Connor. 17 seconds remaining. Has he heard him as Nvidian jumps down? The time of the walk back. Oh my goodness, Nvidian. Oh, that was so unfortunate. He's on for the ace, goes for the kill. And that is just
wow.
COD timing in a nutshell.
That was definitely COD timing right there. Oh man, so close, you know. But and he had only like, but I think there was like 10 seconds left on the clock too, so the pressure was on. But COD timing definitely got him there, and you know, Obtain looking to close this out right here. You know, it'd be interesting to see. These teams are just so well. You know, anything can happen. But hopping on board here with Lucky. See how well they actually defend this point here. Probably just kind of push in there and get down. 3 fire shots coming. Got a couple shots into Connor. Connor actually trading back. Callum, first pick
easy.
on Metals. Too easy.
Far
Chain
too
picks
easy.
up the second. Oh man, this is not looking good for Rams right now. Obtain is just doing so well at locking this plane down, and you know, like I said, the test of patience. You know, you see the bomb site they're just kind of waiting. You know, they're waiting for them to peek, anticipating, thinking that Rams, you know, Obtain might be planting, but they're waiting. They have a lot of time on the clock. 2 down. They don't need to aggressively push in and plant just yet.
Journey. Oh, Callum should not be winning that gunfight. Journey holding the angle. Callum pushes round. All of a sudden, Lucky now in a 1 versus 3. Just such a bad spot to be in. Surely somebody's going to check on that side. Not quite. Hixie will be the first to fall. They're now going to push round. We'll find the kill. Obtained Esports 2-0, 6-4 on map number 2. And that's a big battling back performance. It felt like they were behind the majority of the game once again, but just different gravy when it comes to these end room rounds. Fantastic stuff out of Obtain. They will get it done. And for me, it has to be the highlight of Connor finding that 1 versus 2. That's what really set things up there throughout that round for them, I think. And I mean, how do you answer back here? If your Rams 2-0 down, it was looking like you were going to win map number 1. You had a really good shot in map number 2, but all of a sudden you're 2 maps down heading into Control Ellen. They've got to be thinking the worst here, surely.
Yeah, you know, they have, like you said, they have to be thinking the worst. But, you know, sometimes, again, that lights the fire, though. I would like to see Rams hopefully maybe come back on this, and maybe we'll see a map 5, you know, today. But it's tough, you know. It's so close. When you're actually, I feel like if you get completely blown out, it's a little bit different the way you feel, like the momentum. Yeah. But when they're so close like that, you're like, man, we should have won. So hopefully they don't let that, you know, get to them too much. And they can just answer back here, get their head of the game, and get that momentum back up and come back in this control.
I think you're very right in what you're saying, though, is that they will be looking at this one and ruining the mistakes. Not necessarily to pick them apart, but that's 2 maps that they conceivably could have won. realistically. They very much could have won map number 1. That search and destroy comes down to that Callum 1v2. You don't want to be seeing that. And Vidian get the bad timing in round number 10 there, round number 9, I should say. That's always difficult to bet. That's 2 rounds that really could have went either way. It's the small margins that are making the difference between these 2 teams, but ultimately it is obtained with that small margin in their favor. We're going to be heading over towards raid control in just a second, but what a game this has been so far. 2-0 really doesn't tell the story, though it has to be said. Rams have been there in and around this one, but we'll be having a look at the S&D once again, Ellen. There were some really, really big highlight players from both these 2 teams. But Raid is coming up next. If we do need them, Moscow and Miami will be coming up after that. But do you think Obtain take this 3-0 now? They've got to be feeling good. And if you're Rams, your mind's got to be in the bin here. Raid coming up. You feel as if you really could have been in this game. This could very well be 3-0 to Obtain.
Yeah, you know, and it looks like I might actually lose my first prediction.
It's going to happen at some point. I told you. The beginner's luck yesterday. That's what it was.
Hey, you never know. Rams might actually come back from that because, like I said, the fire is lit. It's lit, right? They don't want to lose. They're both tied in standings. You know, 1-1. They want that win. They want that lead. But it's going to be hard to say on this one. But I think you might be right. Obtain might close it out here. But I would like to see Rams take it back and maybe bring it to a Moscow, win that, and then bring it to the Search. We'll see, though. We'll see.
We'll see. There's potentially a lot of Call of Duty on the cards, but Raid coming up next, and it's been good for Control. It really has. It's interesting to see who gets that courtyard control. That's really what these teams can use to dictate that play around the middle of the map, of course, and then they can move over towards B. They can move over towards A very, very quickly on the attack or the defensive side. But I don't know who's your money on map number 3. I'm just thinking that surely Obtain take this one now. Surely it's theirs to take away. They're in such a good spot. 1-2 close maps. Will be feeling confident heading to map number 3 that they have that edge over Rams if they do need it here. But we'll be feeling very, very confident on Control. I know they're a solid Control side. They'll be feeling confident heading into Raid.
Yeah, I definitely think you might be right on that. I definitely think that Obtain might close it out right here. But like I said, just because I want to win my prediction, I'm going to say that Rams is just going to get their head in the game. They're literally going to light that fire and just come back and completely turn it around. But like, again, we would like to see a game 5. We would. That would be super close. But like both these teams are just so evenly stacked. It's really hard to say, but if it in the favor of Obtain, if their control game is just on point, they're looking to close it out right here, right now.
Yep, looking to get it done. We're going to be loading into this game very, very shortly, but both these 2 teams, let us know in the chat who you think is going to take it in this one. Obtained one of the very top teams in this region, as are Rams. It's a very, very close series so far, albeit just 2-0 to Obtain. It has really been a case of about 12 points difference on the hard point. It comes down to 2 rounds in the search and destroy. Very, very close between these 2 as we do head into the control. It's a hard one to call. It really is, Ellen. We said it will be a close game, but heading into map number 3, Rams have got to do the reverse sweep. Obtained have got to get this done. They would like to do it in 3. They very well could do as well. And for me, it's really going to come down to who gets that mid-map control, who can be a nuisance in and around the bedroom area, who can make them push up towards pool and force that spawn over towards the garage side. There's so many different things that can play in your favor on raid control. We're heading into this map very, very shortly. And let's see who's going to take away map number 3. Rams need 3 in a row here, Ellen. I don't fancy it for them. I really don't.
Well, it's going to be hard to say, but, if they get that control, like you said, mid-map control and just map control in general on control, and it's going to be hard to say, but here we go. I mean, look at that. Hixie already getting control. They already got 3 down now. Here we go. The slaying power coming in. It looks like Rams is actually pushing towards the A bomb site, getting control of that. And, you want to kind of get in their base and be annoying, and it looks like actually they're kind of distracted by Lucky over there by B, but making the rotation back over to A. Rams is actually doing a good job kind of securing this down, but Obtain answering back with that 2-piece. And again, NVIDIA, the hill's actually being contested right now. But again, you have Obtain over there.
It's this mid-map control. Oh, Callum Nelly gets turned on and we'll find the shots under Lucky. That is insane from Callum. Journey challenges and just comes into his aims down sight, and all of a sudden, he's dead. Very, very well played by Obtain and then by Callum. 3 and 1 out of him. The was a really good start from Rams, though. They do get 2 ticks over towards A, but those lives very, very slightly in the favor of Obtain as Hixie finds a second. And this is what I'm talking about. Nvidian will clear it out, but Obtain find the kills, they push up, they try to be a nuisance in and around the spawn of Rams.
And take a look at Callum, actually. He was actually getting set up to be annoying in their base, but look at that. He's actually got the flank right now. He's doing so well at that, just being annoying, being a nuisance, getting the 2-piece. He is literally a force to be reckoned with right now. Getting a 3! Oh my god, he just cleared out the whole entire base. Now, if he can get this 4th one, he did a really good job at flanking there, but no, not before being shut down by Lucky, it looks like there. They did a really good job at being annoying in their base, but Rams got the capture on that. Now they're going to make their way towards B, and Obtain is actually looking at a really good position here. It looks like they have more lives than actual on Rams, 16 over 13, and it's going to be interesting to see how well they defend this point.
But look how annoying they are in the bottom left corner. You can see that they're just setting up in little spots here and there. Look at this from Chain inside the pool. It's such a horrible spot to try and check. You ain't checking that, surely. Just dipping and diving, just checking it. Oh, and actually Metals is going to see him from the other side of things through the water. Not quite going to work out, but are the kills going to start coming through here? Metals inside the point. Looking to make a push onto actual B, but Callum once again just being a nuisance in the middle of the map. There's so many different routes you can take, and now he's going to get aggressive as well as Chain finds one onto Metals. They will clear him out of the bar area. 35 seconds remaining, only 9 lives on the Rams side. And that's why Obtained are playing it in this way. They can just try and find those kills, slay it out as best you can, and all of a sudden you're in a good spot. I feel as if we have to go on board with Callum at 9-2. He's having a fantastic game so far. Let's see if we can continue this on. He's going to be flanking around. Nvidian's going to be on his left. He's got players on his right as well. Nvidian is the first one to go down. Can he find a second as well? Not quite. Just being a constant nuisance is what's really working out for this Obtain lineup. Lucky and Co now trying to make this push. Shots in the corner were fantastic from Journey, who already found one, and Hixie momentarily is left all alone. Is he going to be able to find anything else? Not quite. And this might be the one break that Rams need. They need to hold on perfectly, though. They don't have the time for this to mess up. Beat control is in their favor. They need to make sure they stay inside of it. Callum now pushing around behind. Have they got somebody watching it? Journey very weak. He's going to go down. Hixie finds the kill on the other side. Rams should be done, and they are obtained with round number 1. What a round from Callum that is. 1-0.
Callum did such a good job at being annoying.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
Like, 2, 3, like, oh my god, the pistol whip right there on Journey, and then shots and unlucky. Like, he just literally was just slaying everything. And, you know, his team was set up in the back there, that back pool area. They were just holding that down, watching, watching their butts. But Callum just... great stuff from him. 11-4. Just going off, being annoying. That's exactly how you do it. Get that control and set up, being annoying. And, it's really hard for Rams to get out of the base, and that's exactly what happened.
What a round that was from Callum. And, you're very right. It's just being a nuisance, and you really can do it on this map. There's so many different places you can sit. There's so many different angles you can hold that the other team have to make the push from. This time around, it's actually going to be a lot of control going over towards Obtain on B sides. Journey is going to push them out, though, and it looks as if they're not going to find much else from that one. But once again, Callum just being annoying, being a nuisance, finding that flank is going to get taken down by Journey, ever so slightly weak, but the old switcheroo comes through for Obtain. They put all the pressure over towards B, allowing them ultimate control of A. That's going to go over towards them now. Metals will flank, and this will really just be trying to find the kills on the way around. Callum predicts correctly that this is going to be coming on through. It is in Obtain's favor, and the kills are just about as well over towards the Ram side, actually. But nonetheless, that's a very, very quick A. You've got 2 minutes to hit B. Obtain can really take their time here.
Yeah, I liked how Obtain actually did that. They pushed B first, because usually teams push A first. They pushed B first. They got a close spawn there in that front garage, and then they quickly captured A. That was just beautiful from them. And then now, as they say, that 3 go down. Now it's going to be interesting to see, because Lucky's actually in their base right now, being annoying, kind of doing what Callum did last round, but Connor shuts 2 down. Now Obtain actually slowly makes their way back towards the B site, and Callum just, oh my gosh, 14-8 right now, going just completely locking this map down in the mid. He's just doing such a good job. It's just with his sub role, just being annoying, being in their face constantly, just making them, keeping the pressure on. And here you have it, kind of setting things up in that kitchen area so his team can just flood in through the front.
Hixie will find the kill here as well. But they really need to clear out kitchen side as well. Nobody from Obtain making the push that way, and Nvidian will just have a free run through, lines them up, 1, 2, 3. Really well played by Nvidian. He will clear Obtained out. But there's still a minute on the clock, but that's going to give Rams so much time to push up the map. Fantastic play from them. Nvidian coming up clutch. That's 3 massive, massive kills, and now they can push out. This may be a round for Rams after such a fantastic start for Obtained.
Yeah, good stuff from Nvidian right there. That Obtain actually had a chance to, capitalize on that, and wow, just the 3-piece shutting that down. And now here you have it. They're actually set up to be annoying in their base. They're posted up. That's all they do is kind of just lock down these lanes, get that mid-map control, and that's exactly what they're doing. Obtain's gonna actually try to push to the pool side, but Callum again with the 2-piece. He's literally just going so huge right now. Connor picked that third kill up.
Journey round behind is going to be able to find one, but can this progress start to come through here for Obtain? There's not a lot of time left whatsoever. Lives on the side of the Rams squad. They've got to make this push be perfect. It's not going to happen now. Obtain looking very, very solid throughout that round, but a hard push from this point. Lucky is going to come in for finding that kill, and Rams will find themselves a round on the board. Had to work for it, but really well played in. It has to be this Nvidian play. Here we go. He plays it well, but you gotta say, why is nobody from Obtained watching this angle?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they had 3 of them already pushed up there, and whoever was mid either was in kitchen, or I think the Callum actually dropped, or someone was there, I think. But yeah, like you said, that was easily set up for him to just come around, flank, and get those kills. And now 13-9, hopping on board. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep that momentum up. And here you have it, fighting for that A push to start. Pixie dropping 2 already. Obtain they're doing so well at just slaying back and answering back to them, but Lucky.
Can't find the second. We'll find one under him, but we're getting a good push here out of the Rams squad. Hixie finds 2 in the middle. Isn't quite able to find the third. Will be taken down as well, so progress is here for Rams. A minute 15 remaining as well. That will be a lot of time to hit towards B. Lives very much in their favor as well by 2 or 3, although that will be reduced now as Chain finds another. Obtain going to have to set up, and they're going to have to defend B. It looks as if they've chosen to give up A. Nothing going right for Obtained in this round here, Ellen. Look at the lives. It's about a 5 difference, or 4 now, of course, as Connor finds that kill, but Obtained need to do what Rams did best last time round. They need to make sure they hold on to B. Rams just did such a good job at flanking around at the right times, at being annoying again. Can Obtained hold on like Rams did in the previous round?
And it looks like Metals is actually doing that. He's actually trying to be annoying in this space, working on that flank so they can actually collapse onto the hill, get those points, and it looks like it's happening. They're capturing B, and now Obtain is just going to have to answer back. It's going to be hard to retake this when they have complete control. And, you see, it looks like Chain's actually pushing up, trying to find some players, but not knowing that they're all stacked on the hill. And there you have it. Chain actually takes down Metals.
They gotta go.
Now, they gotta go in.
That's a round. That's the round, surely. Yep, Rams are gonna get it. They had to go very, very quick. They couldn't find the kills, and Rams getting an attack on the board. Very, very well played. Lucky just holding this angle. Callum can't make the push from basketball. Jenny up top towards the kitchen side, and it's just a perfect setup for Rams. They find themselves a few kills, and all of a sudden, it's a very, very difficult round to lose. Well played by the Rams side, and Obtained need to find 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, Metals did a really good job there at kind of, pinching around. They weren't really anticipating that right away, but that flank push was so perfect. He set his team up just so they can collapse on that hill, and it's just so well played there on that round by Rams.
Here we go then. Can Obtain find those 2 in a row. They're going to do the same thing as they did last time around, where it's a big hit towards B. Can Obtain lock this down though? Getting somebody in kitchen will be paramount. Journey's going to push around just as Chain turns round. The kill's not going in their favor. They find a couple back down and then go back in, and all of a sudden, Callum left alone. He's one first time around the spawn. He will be caught out though. It's good defense from Rams once again.
Yeah, if you're Rams right now, this is definitely scary. You know that they're all of them look like they're actually positive right now. Keep getting that and locking that in and locking the map control, and you know you can kind of see it looks like Journey's kind of making his way, inching forward maybe over there on the far left side. But for the most part, they're doing such a really good job at defending Obtain right here. It's like, you know, for the most part. There he is. Yeah, Journey actually. He's actually working a flank. He gets one. Can he get actually a second one? They're actually looking for him, trying to find him. Gets the second on Callum. He is making some plays right now. And there you have it. Third down. Oh, man. Ram's slaying power is it's increasing tenfold, you know. It's just insane to see. But as I say that, Obtain actually knocks them all down. Now they're pushing through that mid-map. And you can see, actually, we have Callum making his way towards the B side. It'll be interesting to see if someone maybe might try to rotate back to A, but looks like they're actually going to capitalize on that. And Rams gets 2 down, answering back on the slaying power. Obtain gets 2 more. They're just trading back and forth. This is so hard to say. Only 18 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be interesting to see if they can get 1.
Obtain need to try and find something here. Is it a push towards A to just try and extend the clock? You've got to make the decision, but they can't really make their minds up here by the looks of things. Connor is actually going to find a kill over towards A. We can find another one that things are looking nice, but there's actually 3 players over towards A, but the kills start to come through for Rams. Nobody really in any position to do something for Obtained. That is surely going to be the round. There's just not enough time for Obtained to get there. I say that. They get in. Connor inside now, but Invidian is there to maybe do something. Connor finds the kills. Maybe there's life in Obtained yet. 1 second. They have to hold perfectly here. They get the progress. Do Rams leave this? Do they just take their life advantage and run away with it? Hixie and Connor are going to find the kills here. And B has been secured. They're finding the kills as well. Invidian's the last one there to try and do something about it, but Callum shuts him down. 7 lives remaining on the Obtained side. This rotation over towards A has to be solid. They've got 53 seconds to do so, though. They've just about held on in this round.
Yeah, that was definitely tough to see. You know, if they would give that up or not, but they didn't. They committed, and you know, Obtain was able to capture that. But now, Rams is actually set up.
Right.
They have the time. They have the time, but Rams has the lives.
Yep. No respawns coming in here for Obtained. They've got to find the kills. Invidian will find one. It's now 3 players left for Obtained. They've got to make this work. Connor will find Lucky. This is not impossible for the Obtained side whatsoever. Metals is going to find the kill on Connor, though. It's all of a sudden a 2v6, technically. Chain and Callum got to find the kills here. Callum's going to jump off. That's unfortunate. Chain now left all alone. He will go down. Rams win the round. Rams win the map. 3-1 to them, and we have a series on our hands. What a fantastic game out of the Rams squad. And no, Obtain nearly made something happen there. They managed to get a hold of that B point. And then all of a sudden, things got very interesting. But the live difference just too much there for Obtain to try and come back from. And ultimately, that was what their downfall was. They couldn't make the push because they just didn't have the lives. They had to take their time. Whereas if you're the Rams side, you can be a bit more frivolous with your lives. You can, you know, throw a couple away to try and find those kills. You know you're up. Very solid play out of the Rams squad. They find themselves a map in this series. And we are going to head to a map number 4 here, Ellen. We're going to see Moscow, of course, coming up next. But what a performance out of that Rams side. And has to be said, we've seen them round number 1 from Obtain. They look so strong on the defensive side of things, but never got anything going from there, really.
Yeah, you know, and I was just really surprised to see that because, you know, it looked like Obtain coming in strong on that, but then Rams just completely just started slaying. But both sides were doing such a good job at kind of back and forth with getting into their base and being annoying, being a nuisance, and Callum was going off on that. And, you know, you just saw a couple of flank kills that were just so key. You know, sometimes even leaving that mid-map area open. You know, we saw the Invidian get that 3-piece. So, you know, Rams just overall lit that. I told you that fire was lit. That fire was lit. So I think see reverse.
The thing is for them is that I think the first 2 maps here, when you look at them, they could have went the Rams' way. This very much could have been the 3-0 Rams win right now, and I don't think we would have questioned it with the way that the maps have went down. But we have a look at the game to come back now. Let's have a look at how it did break down. And I mean, look, Callum had a fantastic time of things in that first round. If he'd continued this throughout the rest of the rounds, Obtained would have taken it. He had an absolute flyer to kick things off.
Yeah, Callum was having a field day right here. You know, just going around, getting off these kills. They were trying to find him backing off of that point, but Yeah, he was just so annoying. These types of players, it's kind of fun doing it. You're just running around having a free for all, but yeah, he just did such a good job. And oh man, Obtain, I really would like to see them close that one out, but Rams, it's just they just did so well at just defending the point and locking that down. And I don't know, it's gonna be interesting to see how well they take this hard point.
I mean, they're going to have the encouragement after that one, aren't they? A 3-1 win on Raids to keep themselves in this game. We're nearly ready to load into the fourth map as well in a second, but what a performance out of the Rams. And they were just sort of adopting what Obtained were doing as well. They were being a nuisance. They were flanking around behind. Journey was a big reason as to why they got away with it. Maybe Obtained will look at this and sort of say, well, why couldn't we have done this earlier on in the round when we got a hold of B? A fantastic performance by the Rams squad. The Spanish get around on the board. And I think for me, as well, I'm a huge fan of this Rams squad. And one thing I'd like to point out about them, in the first couple of weeks when we did see them, they were always doing well. They were always going forward very, very strongly. And there's a lot of players on this team that are very, very strong. You look at Metals, you look at Lucky, you look at Journey. And Vidian is sort of being inconsistent in the Challengers Cups, but what I've seen from him so far over the Challengers Elite has been very, very solid. He's been putting up good numbers. I'm happy to see him playing well, because when Nvidian is playing well, this Ram squad look unbeatable right now. He's looking very, very solid. And they're unfortunate to be 2-1 down, it has to be said, but nonetheless, Obtained have clutched up when they've needed to. They do deserve to be in the lead after just them small little margins that they needed to find. They find them in their favor. Yes, okay, now they are in the place where they have lost that third map, but heading over towards Moscow, they will be feeling confident. I'm sticking with my prediction of Obtained. I didn't think they were going to win 3-0 anyway. I knew that a map would be taken by Rams at somewhere down the line, but you must be feeling pretty good for the Rams squad now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like the fire was definitely lit in that one. But, I will say, having the pleasure of watching Obtained Esports, they have surprised me. I'm really looking forward to seeing
They're
what
really good
they
squad.
do bring.
They're really, really good.
What they do bring to the table. I haven't seen too much from them, but, I'm liking what I'm seeing. The squad is definitely looking good. Matching up against Rams, like you said, those players have been around for such a long time on the Rams side, and it's awesome to see how well Obtain has been, matching up against them, and they've been doing such a good job.
Obtain's that typical young roster that really only has emerged these players in the past sort of year or two, and the fact that they're now fighting up against players like this Ram squad, who has, as you said, have been around for a long time, is testament to how good this Obtain lineup is. But let's head into map number 4 and let's see how this one does go down. Obtained still 2-1 to the good, still in the lead in the series, but Rams looking to get back into this one, and we do head over towards Moscow to see if we can find either a map number 5 or a win for Obtained.
Yeah, and instantly for this hill, it looks like they kind of were getting that Eskies control there. It looks like Obtain is actually getting that close spawn. Callum with 2 down. Now, Rams has control. Hill's being contested still, but Obtain looks like they actually have control of that point right now. Well, kind of waiting around, hanging around Eskies, right? They actually have to start making their way towards P2, but Rams actually has control of that. They're waiting for them, but still kind of just contesting around, kind of hanging out. But Metals with the 2-piece on them, locking that down. He's going to hold this lane, and he's actually got to rotate back, maybe get that back spawn area, anticipating them pushing street. And there you have it. Callum actually took down Metals. But still,
I just don't even know how Callum found that kill. It was so fast. But here we go, the rotation's starting to come on through. Obtain will pick up the majority of the points over towards P1, but can they get anything going over towards P2 here? The police station is the control that you need if you want Rams. Journey just trying to hold Laundry side as well. He's going to go down. Vidian up top, though. A good start of the game at 4-2. He's going to be peeled off that, though. Connor finds the shots, and all of a sudden, the spawns looking like they're going to belong to Obtain. They will do, but can they continue to fight that from the back? We can see that Rams are here, fighting from left-hand side. Can they lock this down? Metals drops it. Chain is there to try and lock it down. Not aware of where the spawns are, and Obtain can't quite get control. Rams, they lose the spawns, but they keep their hill.
Yeah, Obtain did a really good job at locking that down, but, Rams initially had control there, but now Obtain does, but they actually have to start making their way towards that P3 hill, and you can see right now Hixie's making that rotation through street. But again, Rams has the control of this, but Obtain has the lead still, so it'll be interesting to see how well they take control of this. But you got Hixie in the back and Vidian trying to lock down those spawns, and Journey just kind of hanging out on hill here while the teams actually fight and make that way towards the back. Obtain trying to push through here. Lucky just locking it down. Got there Nvidian helping him out, getting those trades, and Rams is doing a really good job locking this point down. Journey takes down 3, 4. The whole team is down now. Obtain spawning out that S-key spawn there. They're gonna have to push this either from the front. I don't know. 30 seconds left on this clock, so you got to think: do we start rotating to the next hill? Do we push through the front? What do we do here? And you can kind of see them still. Oh, man.
He's played that so well. Rams are just rotating fantastically and holding so well. This has worked out fantastically for them. They picked up every single point they could possibly want here on P3 as we head over towards the street. I mean, Obtain need to find something back. I think the positive things for Obtained here is the fact that they've lost every single point on P3, but it's still within touching distance. We're still early in the game, but really Rams have been looking so good on the slaying side of things, on the rotations. Which way is this one going to go? Obtain now getting points over towards P4. Metals will find a kill onto Connor as they start to make their way around the street. Good shots by Chain all the way down there. Can he find them onto Metals as well? Lining them up. It's a laser from Chain. XM4 in hand, getting the job done. They're going to lock this one in. Obtained looking to put points on the board.
Yeah, Obtain did a really good job there at setting up for that hill. They gave up that other hill, but here we go. Chain locking it down, keeping this momentum going. Rams is actually going to try to maybe play a pinch here, try to flank around, but Hixie, not before he stops down. And Chain, he's just going off right now, locking this down. 5 streak, 6 streak. Oh my god. Chain is going off for the squad. Now they have 3 down. Rams is still spawning out now. Here we have 14 seconds left on the clock. Gonna have to start making that rotation to P1, and there you have it. Obtain is already there, set up, waiting for Rams to come in. They're in a really good spot right now, and there you have it, a lead change in the favor of Obtain. This game is so close, Chris. It's so close. It's so hard to say, but both squads are doing such a good job back and forth with the trades, baits, and there you have it. 2 down again in favor of Rams, and just contesting this hill here. It's just gonna be interesting to see if they can retake it. But as I say that, Hixie gets the kill on Metals, and there you have it. He's staying alive, but get trading back out by Journey. It's just, oh man, back and forth between both teams. This is just such an amazing matchup. Oh gosh, I'm so excited to be here. This is just crazy.
They're just going back and forth. You're very right. The trade's coming in. Which way this one gonna go? Connor finds 2. Lucky coming in there to try and find something else. Hixie should be dead, and eventually Rams will lock this one down. And if you're Chain, you need to hold on here. Lucky's gonna make the push through. He will find the kill. And Chain very aware of his surroundings. The push starting to come here from Rams on the right-hand side. They will find the kill as well. The slide out from Metals. Can they find the shots onto Callum as well? Metals from there with the 7 for you. And Rams are really starting to heat up in this series. But look at that scoreline. Very close between these two. It's only a very slight lead for the Rams. Looking towards the spawn, though. They do belong to Rams, but some pressure coming in onto Nvidian from the street side now. Chain looking to try and find him, but from up top is Journey. Really good play by the Rams. They got covered on every single angle. Journey inside the hill now. We can see number 7 is actually made in towards the police station. That's going to be Hixie. Can't find anything, and now it's going to be a push from a different angle from Obtained, but they can't get it done. Rams looking to lock this one in.
Oh man, Rams is doing such a good job. And there was an early rotation there. Callum actually just shut him down. They're gonna actually have to start thinking about that next hill. And as you can see, 1 and 2 there, they're rotating. We got that Metals and Lucky rotating through the street side. They have to work their way towards this back P3 hill, and Obtain is actually set up waiting for them to push that. They're in a really good spot right now. Obtain, if they can hold this down, get these kills initially, Rams will spawn out. And there you have it. Lucky actually dropping 1. They have to stay alive. Obtain has to stay alive here. So close with Rams being close to their spawn. But Hixie.
All the way at the back. It just makes it so hard to push. Nvidian is there for the trades. But I tell you what, Rams have done a really good job. The spawns come in for them towards the back. And now Obtain. They have to fight from the front. It's actually only 1 player left. That's going to be Chain. He is surely dropping shortly. The rest of the team now coming on through. Chain has done his best to survive as long as he possibly can. But Rams break almost perfectly over towards P3. The kill's starting to come through from Obtain, but maybe they made it a little bit harder on themselves than they should have. As Metals is still here, still contesting the point where he can. 20 points remaining on P3. Good shots onto Callum once again. It just seems as if he said that fire is here from Rams. Can Chain find anything else? Not quite. Hixie who found the 1. The majority of the points really go over towards the Rams side, and by the time we make it over towards P4, where Rams are already technically set up a little bit with Nvidian, It's going to be about a 60-point difference here. Obtain just can't find the kills in the middle of the map. Metals is 23 and 15.
Yeah, man, I thought Obtain had that on that last one, but Rams is just doing such a good job at slaying. But here we go, back and forth between both teams, 3 down in the favor of Rams. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how they fight this point. And Callum pushing in, but no, shut down by Journey. And again, they're just kind of contesting this hill, you know, kind of like P1, just contesting fights going from back. But Obtain 3 down, 4 down now. Rams spawning out at the old hill. They have complete control of this. They might be able to hold all this time as long as we got that early rotation into the P1 and get control of that. But you know, Obtain, they gotta step it up here if they want to come back on this. And again, doing such a good job at slaying. Rams just 3 down again. You gotta shut them down. Metals going off 23 and 16. Lucky 19 and 15. It's just, oh man, if you're Obtaining Sports right here, you have to kick it up into gear, get that slaying power back in together, and you know, momentum. But here you go, Hixie, 2 down. Journey set up at the new hill. Rams, they're doing such a good job right here. But Obtain, don't count them down yet. Do not count them down yet.
Obtain still, I mean, it's just one good rotation and one good hold, and all of a sudden you're back into the game. But Rams have been really, really good here. Their rotations, their breaking ability has both been fantastic. They've held the side of spawns that they've wanted to nearly every single hill that we could possibly even think about outside of the second rotation over towards 3. But on top of that, Metals is causing issues. Invidian's 20 and 13. They really have just taken over, and they've got more confidence going into map number 4 than they have done throughout the rest of the series. That time, though, is ticking down. Obtain are picking up points here. They're going to find 3 as well. They're going to have to push through to try and get a hold of these spawns, because if Rams can lock this in once again, they will be within touching distance heading over towards P3. The spawns are coming through, but there's a massive, massive gunfight coming up shortly. Journey all alone, alive inside of the prison as well, inside a police office, trying to make the push. Callum's trying to find him. If he can get rid of him, that would be fantastic. There's Journey down. The rest of the Rams squad are out, and Obtained win the rotation.
Yeah, Rams was actually set up there in that P2 hill, but, you know, Obtained won the rotation. They got those key kills. Now the setup. But look at this. Invidian's actually in the back right now in that back police station, but Callum shuts him down. Connor gets that other kill. Now they're in a good position. All they have to do is lock this hill down. Connor with another kill there. Oh my gosh, he's stepping it up. He's like, nah, not today. See you later, Lucky. They're just completely locking this in. And you see the early rotation actually from Nixie.
Oh!
What? He got shut down by Metals. So
Callum!
Rams, it's just, I don't, but you know, you see this, they have the lead change almost here, but Rams is actually getting set up for the new hill. And it's going to be interesting to see if they win these gunfights.
Callum on a 7 spree is going to be taken down. Can Rams hold on to this bank side, though? Because that's where Obtained were broken last time around by the Rams. And this is a big gunfight. This is a huge gunfight. Hixie, it's going to go his way. He has to be patient. Has to wait on the rest of his team. Where's the spawn going to come in here for Rams? It's actually way out. So Obtained can try to get going. Journey's going to find the kill on the Connor. Invidian finds one on the Callum. It's such a good hold from the Rams once again. And Hixie can do nothing from there. Rams within touching distance here. They can't quite get it over towards P3. But there'll be a point or so away of Obtained. Don't contest it. Obtained have to be clean here. That's the problem. They have to be quick, but they have to be clean. Obtained trying to make the pushes. Hixie finds the first kill. Invidian goes down, as does Metals. Here come the kills. We said it has to be quick and it has to be clean, and Obtained are making it look good. Coming out, trying to find these kills where they can. Obtained are getting points on the board here. No longer can Rams really be within touching distance. They're still spawning out towards the back. 10 seconds remaining on this one. Obtained are going to leave it alone. We may well end the game here. All the way over towards the street side. Callum's going to go down on this rotation, though. Not many members from Obtained are here. And Rams are 20 points away. And Rams have control.
Oh, man. Rams is doing such a good job.
He's going to go down. Rams are finding the kills on the long angles, though. 15 seconds remaining from them. Lucky is set up, and you can't find him, and he's going to be taken down eventually. The trades start to come through. It's just about going to go in Obtained's favor. It's the push from Office out of Callum. He's had a bit of a step up towards the end of the game. Invidian's going to get taken down as well, but he needs to find a couple more over towards the back. There's another one. Is he going to find any more? Not quite. Metals is there towards the back, but Obtained crucially inside the point. But keep an eye on the game timer. We're ticking down here, and if you're Obtained, you need to be inside this hill. You cannot contest. 13 seconds remaining. 15 seconds on the hill. Rams can no longer win. Obtained need to stay in. If you're Rams, you just need to contest, and that's what they're doing. 7 seconds remaining. It's about this rotation, but Rams just need to contest this middle hill, and the game is theirs. Callum is setting up here for Obtained. They're trying to lock this one in, but they need to keep Rams out. 6.9 seconds remaining. All you need to do if you're Rams is contest. Chain finds one. Can he find anything else as this push starts to come through the double doors? Yes, they can contest. It just needs to be 3 more seconds. They need to find the kills. Connor finds one. Invidian lying down. It's a Rams win. We're heading towards map number 5. What a game, number 4. 2-3-5 to 2-2-1. That's the longest hard point I've commentated on this whole entire game. What a map from these two.
Ooh, that was really exciting. This was definitely probably by far my favorite hard point that I spectated in. And I just, wow. Back and forth between both teams. I literally just the whole entire time was like, ooh. Just making noises like that was just so exciting to watch. But good stuff from Rams, like, you know, like you said, the fire was lit. So woo, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, who closes the series out.
We're gonna be heading over towards map number 5, and honestly, it was so close all the way through this series. Obviously, I mean, you could argue, I said, that Rams could have taken either one of the first 2 maps as well. It was so close all the way through. Close there again. The Control was the only map that wasn't necessarily close. Rams looked pretty comfortable on that one. Other than that, it's been close games all the way through. These two, last time they met, I mean, Bryce were talking about it just off air there. It was a double best out of 5 in a grand final. So, I mean, look, these two are very evenly matched, and I mean, let's have a look at how things broke down on this hard point. What a game number 4 that was. Ellen, take me through it.
Man, like, I just, you know, Ram had such early rotations too, and you know, they did such a good job at rotating early, and Obtain kind of picked up on that, and then they started to rotate early, and you know, just the kills back and forth. Callum was going off, everybody was going off, you know, evading and trading and getting those key kills. But Rams overall, for the most part, from what I was seeing, they had those early rotations set up, you know, and I think even one time they actually had it, but they got cleared out by Obtain, you know, able to come back from that. But for the most part, it just really looked like Rams just did a good job at setting up, getting those key kills, getting those rotations in, and just locking it down for the squad. They just did such a good job.
Oh, they did fantastically. Really well played by the Rams squad. As you said, it's those rotations, isn't it? They managed to lock them down quite early in the majority of the time. And then the game timer comes into it. There's been so much congestion, so much time that hills haven't been soaked up, and if you're Rams, you literally just need to contest the point. Obtained. Couldn't quite get it done, and that's such a difficult one to bear, especially with the rotation really belonging to Obtained as we were heading towards the end of the game. But ultimately, if there's not enough time left on the clock, you can't do anything with it. Invidian and Cole played that one fantastically. We're going to be heading over towards a map number 5 between these two. The first super close game we've really seen on broadcast in the CDL Challengers Elite so far. It's been a fantastic start to day number 2. We are nearly ready to head in towards map number 5, but this is how the series has broke down. Obtain take map number 1 and number 2 in close fashion, 250 to 238 on the hard point and 6-4 on the search and destroy, both on checkmate. We then headed over towards raid, control on that map, 3-1 over towards the Rams, and then a super close game on all the way over to Moscow, 235 to 221, but we head back over towards the other side of the Atlantic. We're heading over towards Miami, search and destroy. Very much about those ARs, very much about these players trying to lock down the lanes, or maybe some aggression towards Garage. It's all on the line here. It has to be said, it was back and forth in the first S&D, expecting much the same here.
Yeah, I feel like we're definitely going to see a lot of those garage pushes towards that B site. You know, but I did see a couple strategies at A. Maybe we'll see that, but for the most part, I feel like you said, we're going to see a lot of those garage pushes towards B, and you know, getting that hotel control. It's just going to be interesting to see how both teams play. But both teams, honestly, these are powerhouses. They're stacked up against each other so well, and it's just so awesome to see. Just to even be here and spectate this match, you know, I think I'm still gonna stick to my prediction and say that Rams is gonna take this. But again, Obtain has just been so well at playing and surprising us, and just I really think that it's it's gonna be close, but I'm gonna still stick with Rams in my original prediction on that.
Sticking to your guns, that's more than fair. We'll allow that. But at this moment in time, you just seem to have the golden touch in terms of actually picking who's the correct team to go on to win it. So at this point, I mean, it very well could be Rams heading over towards Miami Search and Destroy, though. It's a hard one to decipher which way this one's going to go. It's a relatively different one to checkmate, though, isn't it? It's not necessarily about those really close quarters holds. Yes, they do exist, of course, especially over towards that B side, but it really is about those ARs locking down the right spots, making sure you're watching the right angles, especially over towards the beach side of the map. Is there going to be any hotel control? Is somebody going to watch from balcony? There's so many different spots for all these ARs to cause havoc. So far, so good for the Rams side, has to be said. The AR department's been playing fantastic. Lucky and Vidian have been amazing for the squad. Let's see if Connor can produce something special here, of course, for the Obtain lineup to see if they can get something going on Miami. I don't know how the hell we found ourselves to a map number 5, but it's been a close series all the way through.
It was lit.
The Spanish team have got the passion. They've got the fans here as well. I can imagine thousands of them sitting there watching. They come in their droves. But here we go into game number 5 between Rams and Obtained, and it's being built up for absolutely no reason. Is it? We are going to have to restart this one. Up is an issue clearly coming on through. But I mean, I don't know which way to call this. I'm going to stick to my guns as well with Obtained. I think they're very, very solid on Miami. It has to be said, there is a couple of times I have seen them play on this one, and it's been pretty crazy. Every single time, if I can remember rightly, that I've seen Obtained play this map, it's been back and forth. So I'm excited to see who comes out on top in this one. I believe I actually may have seen these two play up against each other on this map specifically as well. So I can't quite remember which way it went, but they definitely have played each other multiple times. These teams will know what each other do on Miami, so interested to see which way it goes. We're just about trying to get into the game, and we will be starting it very, very shortly, but my goodness me, I have very little clue which way this one's going. I know it's my job to try and predict these things and let you guys at home know why I think this and why I feel as if each game's going to go this way, but this game's been so back and forth and so tight. It's just so hard to call.
Yeah, and that with Rams being down 0-2 and that fire being lit, carrying that momentum into this map, it's I feel like it's still gonna be there. Obtain maybe have lost that a little bit of that momentum, or it's just mentally, you have to think about it. All right, we're down now, we're tied up in the series when we're up 0-2. They can't let that get to them. They just need to literally Obtain just needs to focus up, clutch up, and just pretend like they're back at 1-0 right now. It's just back in the series. This is a clean slate. There's only one map left to go, and they just need to just keep that momentum and hopefully close it out here. But Rams coming off of the momentum from the last 2 wins, it's going to be hard to shut that down, but I just feel like this is just going to be the battle of the passion push right here. So we'll see. It's just going to be tough to say. It's really going to be tough to say.
Just having a look through some of the other scores that we've had so far, and of course on stream right now we are heading over towards map number 5. On a couple of the other games though, House Tarth and Singularity, that one looks like currently Singularity are 2-1 up in that game. It was a first map win for House Tarth, but Singularity winning the next 2. Orgless against Connect 4, 2 teams who are 2-0. Orgless are 2-0 up with a really close checkmate hardpoint win on map number 1. Miami S&D was the second. They take that one 6-3. So Orgless looking to go 3-0. They will be next on stream against 3G, where they will be looking to go 4-0. They'll be expected to potentially win that game. Looking over towards 3G's first game, though, they went up against Gangsters, and it is actually going to be Gangsters taking that one 3-1. So 3G sitting at 0-3 on the record front. It very well could be Orgless sitting at 3-0 as we head into that next game, which is going to be coming up after this map, of course, and after a very quick break so we can reset and regain our energy. We've got a lot more games to go here, Ellen, and we've come screaming out the gates with a game number 5, reverse sweep potentially on the cards for the Rams, and this could really kick off their Elite Challenger season here, because the Rams squad, they're very much, I don't want to say the momentum based, they're very, very passionate though. They're one of these teams who really possibly can't get down on themselves, but when things are going well, when the comms are flying, when the chat's filled up with the Spanish all in there as well, the fans are fantastic from that side of the European region, of course, they really do get burning with this squad. They're just so solid when things are going their way. Can they continue it here, though, on Miami Search and Destroy? It's going to be difficult, very, very difficult between these two teams to decide a winner. I can see we're just about to get into this game in a second, but it's so difficult. Let's just, I mean, for the Rams squad, this will be more important, I feel. I think as if Obtained really can find themselves in a good spot here in this map, though. They'll be feeling confident heading to Search and Destroy after winning the previous one, of course, as well. And getting the observers into the game, but I mean, your first game 5 here, Ellen. There you go. I mean, we're kicking things off in day number 2 in style here.
You know, I was getting scared there. I thought maybe you were going to be correct, and you know, Obtain was going to take it 3-0. But you know, it's crazy. Game 5, it's honestly insane, and I'm so curious to see who comes out on top on this one. But again, I'm really thinking that, you know, like you said, the experience from Rams, Metal, Lucky, Journey, you know, I think they actually, you know, they were part of the Giants team, Heretics team, Atlanta FaZe, you know, Toronto Oncho from Lucky. It's just they have that you know, that background, you know, and they have that experience. And Obtain Esports, though, coming back from that, you know, hopefully they, you know, they can kick it into gear and they don't lose up momentum. But the passion from Rams, you can definitely see it in their gameplay. And, you know, leading into this map, I'm really excited to see how they close this out, if they close it out. But, you know, answering back, Obtain, again, they just have to keep that positivity into this.
Yeah, they do. And I think some of the positivity they can take is the fact that they actually won the previous Search and Destroy. I can see we have everybody in the lobby now as well, so we should be starting this very, very shortly. But Miami, as we discussed at the beginning, very, very close between these two on Checkmate, but it's a very, very different map to Checkmate, of course, as we are starting to load into Miami Search and Destroy for the second time. Is it going to be the third time the charm? Who won? Who knows? Maybe we get in this time round, though, but so excited for game number 5 between these two teams. We're loading in Miami Search and Destroy. I'm going to stick with Obtained. I have to. I said Obtained all the way through. I have to stick with it.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised, though. If they did win, I wouldn't be surprised because, you know, they are a very good team. Both teams are just so good. And, you know, I'm excited to see.
Well, here we go then.
Here we go.
Into game number 5. Rams on for the reverse sweep, but can Obtained hold on and get the win here? It's going to be a very, very slow push out of Rams, expecting Obtained to come flying out the gates. I like this from them. Sending up for the defensive attack, if you like. You wait for a potential rush coming out of the other squad. They're trying to set up for it. Nothing coming through, though, and Obtained are holding strong.
Yeah, and you know what? It kind of looks like that the bomb is going towards the B site, but you see the team is kind of pushed up mid. Maybe they kind of like doing the old reach around there, just kind of, you know, making them, the Obtain Esports, think that they're going to work towards A, but they're actually, you know, working B. So I don't know if Journey's over here kind of playing slow, maybe not making himself present just yet. Maybe they can have that rotation and actually lock this B bomb site down, but kind of interesting play here, but it's you know, it's smart. Make the other team think that you're doing that. And a couple shots in, Callum actually answers back. Chain with the first blood on Metals. Now not really in a good spot to be in. Hixie get the 2. And now bombs down for Rams. This might not be a good situation to be in, but as I say that, Connor answers back on Vidian. He's left. Looks like Lucky's left in a 1v3 situation, and there you go. Obtain takes the first round.
First blood to Obtained. Fantastic between these two teams, and I've actually got one of the coaches from Obtained. They played each other this map twice specifically, and it's 1 apiece in Challengers Cups. So very, very tied. And just to let you guys know, Orgless actually beat Connect 4 3-0. A fantastic performance, and Orgless really looking like the team a lot of people thought they would be at the beginning of the season. We're going to get to see them up against 3G next. But in this one, map number 5, Obtained with first blood. And it should be a very, very close game between them. Good shots by Chain. Really good start to the round for Obtained. And they're going to need these ARs to be firing. I tell you what, Chain's lasering right now as Lucky has to get out. Just tickled him with that XM4, but it's allowed Obtained to get a little bit of real estate over towards A. They have control of it. That bomb's going down.
Yeah, Chain with the most recent pickup from him, and you know, he's going off right now. Callum with that kill on Avidian. Now this is going to be hard to retake here as they have the bomb down. But Chain, as I say that, there you go. They get the kills to come up 2-0 in the series, and man, they're looking really good right now starting off on this search. Ram's going to have to answer back, get back the momentum back and answer back, but it's really hard when Chain, he's just got first blood on both of those rounds, first time. He's going off right now.
Callum just constantly being a thorn in the side of the Rams lineup. 2-0, no, for Obtained, yeah. A really, really good start. Chain at 4-0, and if you got a strong AR like Chain going off like this, Miami really can be his playground. Get himself set up, just hold the angles. Really well played, but it's going to be a B hit coming out of Rams now. Maybe don't want to try and play the slow game. It hasn't worked out for them in the past 2 rounds. It's a 4-man piano hit by the looks of things. Actually, just 3 as Invidian sets up towards Harbor. Callum ready and waiting. No, they can slow this down. Flash comes through. Are they going to be able to make the push yet? The grenade going out as well over towards Callum. Does he have a trophy? It won't matter too much as he does back on down. They've allowed themselves some control here in towards the B bomb site. Bomb was thinking about going down, but Connor's going to find the kill on the journey. All of a sudden, it's a 4v3. They need to get the bomb back here. Do Rams.
And yeah, you know, it looked like Rams was actually going to play that more aggressive, but Hixie actually takes down Lucky on the flank there. And now Tane is just doing such a good job at locking this down. Get those shots in onto Metals. Metals now left in a 1v3 situation. It's going to be interesting to see if he can clutch this up, but they know where he's at. They know where the bomb is. This is going to be really hard to see. And as you can see, he's about to run into Hixie, trying to see if he can get that kill, but no, he gets traded out by his teammate. Obtain is just doing so well at locking this down. Good stuff from them. And it was a valiant effort, but Chain, those shots, you gotta shut him down. He's going so big right now for the squad, just getting those picks. Like you said, it's his playground. He's on a 5 streak right now. 5 streak. Callum's on a 3 streak. They're just, Obtain is just looking so well right now. This is gonna be hard, but you know, Rams is really have to get back into gear and kick that momentum back.
The ARs need to find something. Because right now they haven't answered at all. 3 kills across the board. Chain has 5 of his own. Now looking like a push over towards A. Obtained, the ARs are working for them. I see no reason as to why they don't continue to do that. A is more an AR-orientated push. You've got to try and maybe find the picks, and right now, it's working perfectly for Obtain. They're finding those picks. They're finding those first bloods nearly every single time. Hixie now on this push down the right-hand side. Invidian and the Lucky are there. Shot's going to go out. Nothing quite landing for Hixie yet, but just enough to ward Invidian off. Just takes about a third of his health down, but that's going to allow Callum to push on through. Trophy system down. Bomb is going down. Obtain now. Going to try and defend this. Lucky's already dead as Hixie finds that. Connor finds another. And we really bigged up this map number 5 between these two, but Obtain are running away with it here. 3v2. Journey, I mean, such a tough spot. Chain's up there with an AR. The grenade goes out, but Journey's going to be able to make this push. He knows he's just surely going to get shot in the back. Hixie's going to come around. He's going to pick that up. Good communication from Obtained. Invidian now left in a 1 versus 3 in the mid-map. He should be shut down momentarily. Fantastic shots. Obtained are running away with this game number 5.
And yeah, they're doing such a good job. Those ARs locking that down. You know, look at Hixie, that kill unlucky. Chain locking that upper hotel area down. Like, he now is on a 6 streak. Will someone shut that man down? It's just, you know, like you said, it's just the AR presence from Obtain is just, it's so dominating right now. And Rams just has to figure out how to come back from this now. Being down 0-4, that momentum might be a little bit low, but you know, they got to figure out how to shut down Chain, how to shut down Callum, and it's just, they're just doing such a good job from the side of Obtain, is just locking this down. Yeah, Dixie here.
Trying to push. They haven't got a hope or a prayer yet, to be honest with you. And Rams can't find a thing. They just cannot find a kill here. Every time it's been first blood, Hixie's going to challenge us again. Just has to back on down, but they may well be able to get rid of him here. Push going to come through. Journey is taking matters into his own hands as push comes through. Hixie will die. Now they have a bit more control over towards the beach side of things. Can the Rams get anything going? Good shots from Chain. 6-0 out of him still.
Yeah, James gets a couple of shots in. Oh, he almost went down, but didn't. He managed to stay alive there. And, you know, it looks like they're still kind of working this way towards A, but Chain, with the shots at Invidian, like, he's still just going off, staying alive, playing his life. Just that is so important here. But now Rams has the bomb down. It's going to be interesting to see if they can take this, but Callum goes down by Lucky. And as I say that, now left in situation, Chain left alive. And there you have it. Rams actually gets one on the board now. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can come back and bring it back here. But Man, still good stuff from Obtain, and this was actually such a beautiful round play. Look at the shots in the journey. Ah, man, it's gonna be interesting if they can take this, but don't count them out yet. Don't count them out yet. Now, even though Chain was shut down, don't count them out yet. Maybe they still have something up their sleeve, but definitely good stuff from Obtain.
Yeah, Obtain just looking so solid here. The defensive ARs are really being the hard thing to get through for the Rams side. That time around, though, they were able to get something going. Now it's Obtain's turn to attack, and it's looking like an A hit once again. It's been working out for them perfectly as well. But look at Rams, how aggressive they're getting over towards the B side, but you can't be losing Lucky in the middle like that. Makes things so much more difficult. But look at this aggressive play coming out of the Rams squad. Did he see Metals there, Connor? Looking to cover his bases. I don't think he did. Metals will find this kill on the corner. They're trying to set up a bit of a pinch here. So Rams trying to get a little bit more aggressive, and it may work in their favor, but Obtained are going to be ready and waiting here. They haven't pushed all the way up to their A site, and I don't think Rams know that.
Yeah, I don't think they know it either. They're in a really good position there, but looks like actually, nope. I mean, he did peek it for a little bit. It looks like Chain kind of peeked his back, but, I don't think he knows that Metals is there, and if he actually can get this pick here, they might be in a good position to maybe turn it around. But as I say that, Chain gets a couple shots in him, but he manages to get away with his life, but not before Avidian shuts down Callum, left in a 2v3 situation.
Chain should surely be dead. They've got to trade him out here, surely. Pixie on the bomb site now. We'll pick it up and try and go for the plant. He will find a kill. Chain finds one in the middle as well. It's suddenly a 1 versus 1. There's just no time for him to plant, though. They've taken far too long, and Rams hold on. And that's just fantastic play from them on the flank. Really, really well played when they pushed through Hotel, stayed in the middle of the map. It made things so difficult for them to make any sort of push. Chain was aware that Metals was in and around that side of the map and goes for the snap and gets it, but ultimately, not close enough to do anything towards the site. Rams with 2 rounds in a row here, maybe a little bit of life on map number 5.
Yeah, I know Chain was staying alive there for a minute, but it's going to be interesting to see if they can come back from this. And here we have it. Rams looking to potentially maybe play patient, maybe play that aggressive A push. I don't know. Kind of Bombs was kind of hanging out there, but if you look at Journey there, he's actually playing really aggressive in that back B area, that back alley there. So he's kind of just posted up waiting. Maybe, or excuse me, garage, waiting up, maybe kind of like maybe making them think that they're going to plant B, but maybe rotate to A, maybe rotate back to B. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to see what they're doing here. But Chain manages to get away with his life, not before getting picked off by Nvidian. And looks like they actually maybe make the rotation back to A. Callum answers back on Lucky.
Oh, and he's actually managed to get into Hotel as well. He's not able to be traded out, and Connor will find Metals. Journey had absolutely no right to win that gunfight, and all of a sudden this is doable for Rams. If they get this bomb down, it's a 2v2 scenario. Obtained haven't got a clue which side of the map they're going to plant on here. It's going to go down at B. This would be 3 in a row for Rams, but it's really been a bit of a strange round. Neither team really getting much control. But where does the push come through? Connor will find first blood. It's now going to be up to Nvidian. In a 1 versus 2, shot's going to go in. Doesn't find anything. Going to get chased down by Callum. It's another round on the board for Obtained. 25 seconds remaining. More than enough to defuse this one. They're going to be on map and series point now. 5-2 to Obtained. They've just clutched up so much in this search and destroy.
Ooh, yeah, they definitely did. It's going to be interesting to see if Rams can come back from this, but oh man, Obtain is doing just such a good job at locking this down and that AR presence on the map, and it's going really well for them. Hopefully maybe Rams might be able to come back from this, but it's just so tough when you got Chain playing so well, Connor playing so well, Hixie like 5 and 2, they're all positive right now. Lucky and Metals right now, not so much. They have to bring this back. Maybe it might be that momentum factor. I don't know, but it's just so hard. Here we go, hopping on board now. Looks like Obtain Esports is actually making that push to A again, like you said, getting set up on that hotel there. Chain is in there. It's just A is working out for them. Why switch it up if something keeps working? Why switch it up? They don't need to. So I think maybe Rams picked up on that. They're just kind of playing patient in the back there, blocking that down. And Oh my gosh, Lucky getting that kill on Chain. I was like, wait, what just happened? Getting that first pick on Chain, that might be bad for them on the side of Obtain, but still slowly still inching their way towards that bomb. Callum kind of working that beach side. He knows maybe Invidian's back there. Maybe he didn't see him. Maybe he might be able to get there.
XM4 though. He'll have the XM4 and Callum not necessarily in the best of spots. Going to make the push onto the bomb site, but Invidian knows they're there. Grenade will go out. Is anybody there able to stop this plant going down? Yes, they are. Lucky will find himself in a spot. He may well be dead. Hixie's going to stick him. But still, a 3v2 in the favor of Rams. Not long to go. They know where the bomb is. This will be something from Obtained. Journey will find Hixie. And not enough time for Connor to really do a great deal here. It's a 1v3. That should be 5-3 unless he finds something massive here. Push towards the bomb site. Doesn't have time to plant. Will not find the 2 kills. And Invidian will find him as Rams win the round 5-3. Still life in this Rams squad in map number 5.
Yeah,
I mean, this was just so important from Lucky. The fact that he finds the kill. If that bomb goes down, it's a completely different round.
Yeah, that was definitely a good kill there by Lucky. It's kind of like Rams kind of picked up on that. You know, they kind of put extra pressure and extra defense on that A site, anticipating that, and they did a really good job locking that in. So a little bit of life left, and hopefully it might be enough to close this out. But we'll see, and we'll see which they push. And I think.
Okay, so 5-3 is the score as things have been ended. So I presume we will jump back into this one very, very shortly. We'll figure out what's going on that side of things. But nonetheless, a 5-3 lead for Obtained here in map number 5. They got to be feeling good about it. They only need one more round. I presume we'll be loading back in just a second as well. But it looks like one of the players actually lagged out on the side of the Rams squad. So hopefully they do get back in very, very shortly. And I mean, the thing is, we can reset a search and destroy very, very easily, of course. All players just get back to the single side that they were on, and we will get back into things very, very shortly. But my goodness me, how good of a series has this been? And still, this could be done by the Rams. We have seen them find a few rounds in a row. They just need to do the same again here. And they can do this on Miami. They're being finding those picks eventually. The ARs, though, from Obtained have just been dominant in those early rounds. And that's why they found themselves in such a good spot. Chain popped off. The rest of the team all doing fantastically with the XM4s. It's been XM4 heavy. Not many SMGs, actually, on the side of the Obtained roster. I've seen Callum still rocking it, getting aggressive towards that back area over towards that A side. But I don't know. I don't know if Rams have it in them to potentially bring this one back. We've seen them do it before, but it's a tall order. It's a really, really tall order to try and bring this one back.
Yeah, and you know, the momentum there too. It's probably low, but hopefully, like you said, they might be able to come back on that. But Obtain, like Chain, shut him down. He was like, I think before he died, he was 6-0. You know, Chain, Lucky, they're doing such a good job at getting that control there on that map. And I don't know. It's really looking like, though, the Obtain may take it, but Rams still has life in them, so it'll be interesting to see if they can come back from that. Hopefully,
let's see.
Maybe. If they do, my prediction was correct. But
yes,
no,
I know you do like to remind us.
It's all fun and games. I mean, I have to, you know, I have to be good at something. Come on. No, I'm kidding. But in all honesty, yeah, both teams have displayed. This has definitely been the best series that, you know, I've watched, and Obtain is really showing why they want it. You know, they're really doing a very good job at answering back, and you know, maybe that momentum from losing those last 2 maps just carried into this one, and they're like, no way, we're not going to lose this. And you know, they're doing a really, really good job at just taking the search right now.
Yep, it is looking good for them. Hopefully we'll be able to load back in very, very shortly. But what a series it has been to kick off day number 2. I wonder if we're going to have completely the opposite of what we had yesterday. Of course, 3-0s across the board, apart from the last game, which was still a 3-1. I wonder if we're going to have much closer games. I wonder if I'll even get to sleep before 7 a.m. in the morning at this point. If the games keep going on this way, it's just going to keep on going. But honestly, the Call of Duty has been fantastic between these two teams. If you are coming late into this series, make sure you do go back and watch it, because it has been fantastic. So close between these two teams. We head into a map number 5. It is 5-3 currently on Miami Search and Destroy. We didn't have to back out of the game because one of the players lagging out. Such is online Call of Duty, of course, and this whole online esports world that we're currently stuck in, but we are trying our best to provide the greatest coverage that we possibly can do, and doing a good job so far, I feel, and hopefully we can get this game underway very, very shortly. And it's just been such a good performance from Obtained in this map initially, though. 5-3 to them when we do load back in. I'm curious if we can actually just throw this one to a break. Hopefully the player will be back into the game soon. When they do get back in, we'll be back with more here at the Call of Duty Challengers Elite. See you then. Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Call of Duty Challengers Elite, and we are still in game number 5 here. Unfortunately, a disconnection has come through. Lucky can't get back online by the looks of things, so unfortunately for the Ram squad, they are going to have to play a man down as we load into Miami Search and Destroy. Again, it was 5-3 to Obtained, and hopefully we're ready to get into this one again, Ellen. Just unfortunate for Rams that they're going to have to play without Lucky, though.
Yeah, with Obtain being up 5-3 in the series, it's really going to be hard to see if, Rams can come back with this playing a man down. But as I say that, looks like we might be kind of restarting the lobby there again.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to get right back into it, but we will be very, very shortly. But that is the scenario that we currently have. The admins have given plenty of time to get back into this one, but looks like we are starting up once again. Here we go. And I mean, it's such a hard one to bear. Obtained have really looked solid throughout this whole S&D and have looked the favourite to take it throughout. So let's see if they can just get this one closed out. They need one more round, but it's a 4v3. You'd like to think that they should be able to take it. The players are still having issues getting into the game right now, so hopefully we can get this one started very, very shortly. But let's see if we can get into it in a second. But at this moment in time, you do have to feel for the Ram squad. They fought it all the way back to map number 5, I should say, and we can't get every single player in the game. It's a little bit of a disappointment, but these things do happen. Hopefully we can get this sorted and get this one kicked off in a second. Looks like we're actually 3v3 in the lobby at this moment in time, so we should be able to get this one up in a second. But I mean, you can't say what the prediction is going to be, really, because it really should be Obtained. They were winning convincingly and comfortably 4v4. They should be able to close it in a 4v3, Ellen, you would think.
Yeah, I definitely think that Obtain is going to close it out here, and it kind of stinks, Ram, they were literally coming back on that momentum there and potentially could have maybe seen a 5-5 there, but, now losing their teammate, that's kind of unfortunate. So it's really going to be hard. It does look like Obtain is going to take this one out.
You would think so, but it would be something if Rams can come back in a 3v4 scenario, of course. But looks like we're just getting everyone back in the lobby, trying to get everybody in. That would be fantastic if we could get a 4v4, of course, but at this moment in time it is not looking likely. Everybody else back in the lobby and nearly ready to go. Let us know who you think is going to take this one, of course. Just to remind you guys, it is 5-3 to the Obtained side. Having an issue with the game right now, so hopefully we can get in very, very shortly. Let us know, though, who you do think is going to take this one. I wonder if it's an idea to maybe review how the game has got to this point and talk about the previous maps. A fantastic performance from Obtained to kick things off, of course. In that hard point, they were all the way behind on checkpoint, but managed to bring it back. And then, of course, with game number 2, winning that one on checkmate as well, but on Search and Destroy, of course, that one was 6-4. And then it's been about the Rams side trying to get back into this game. They forced us all the way to a map number 5 with a 3-1 win on Control, and then a weird game on Moscow, of course, where it didn't even get a chance to get the 250 limit. I think it was like 236 to 210 or something along those lines. Either way, very, very close scenario between these two teams. 5-3 is the score on the Search and Destroy as we try to load back in. Lucky had a disconnection halfway through the game, and hopefully we can load back in a second, but what actually does sound like we are having too many issues with this one. We are going to go to a very quick break. It seems as if we are going to go on to the next game. We'll let you know exactly what has happened with this previous game in just a second, or after the break when we find some further info. But Alan, it has been a fantastic series. It's just a shame we can't find the proper way to close it out.
Yeah, no, that is a shame, because I really was looking forward to seeing maybe Rams can make a comeback right there, and it's just it kind of stinks that the player, unfortunately, Lucky lagged out, and but like you said, these things happen. It's online Call of Duty. Anything's bound to happen. We're not playing in a LAN setting right now, so unfortunate. And like I said, I would like to see them come back, but Obtained still, regardless, was looking pretty strong in that map, so it was really hard to come back from. And overall, I don't know. It's unfortunate. It happens, but Ram, hopefully, maybe in the next match, can just kind of push that aside and move right along.
Yeah, it's a long old season, so they've got time to get back. Plenty of games yet to be played. But we are going to go for a very short break. When we come back, we're going to have Orgless taking on 3G. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty Challengers Elite. My name is, of course, Bryce, and unfortunately we are having to move on from that last game due to technical issues, and of course we have many more games to show you on the broadcast, but don't worry, we'll get the updated standings later on in the show so we can find out what exactly has happened. But of course, I am Bryce, I am not alone here, joined by Ton and Ellen, doing wonderful casting for that last series. Certainly was a long one, Ton.
I was saying, Bryce, there's not many times that I've actually had too many positive comments off yourself there. I was just thinking it in my head, of course, but at this moment in time, I'm just reeling from that. I was speechless. But nonetheless, it was a fantastic game between these two, very, very long series, and I'm just interested to see how it does play out. But honestly, I was just happy to see some really close competitive Call of Duty, but fantastic game nonetheless, and we've got a good one coming up now as well.
We certainly do. Before we get there, taking a quick look at the North American region standings. And if you do want to keep up with how it's been going over there, currently in the group, Westar, Sublonders Academy, and UT Crew, all 2-0 off the start. You've got Higher, Team Z, both 1-1. Higher with the slightly better map record at the moment. And then 0 and 2, 3 teams in that position right now, all with identical standings. Mocky Mocky, Mr. Mid Maps, and Built by Gamers, all hoping they will get a better way today. Okay, let's move on to our schedule, show you exactly what we have coming up and what is going down. Of course, we still have 3 more wonderful matches for you on the broadcast today. We've already seen Obtained Esports defeat the Rams 3-2. Coming up next, though, Team 3G versus Orgless. After that, we switch over to the beautiful North American region over the pond. Sublonders Academy will be going against Built by Gamers. And our last, but very much not the least game of the night, Team Z versus the UT Crew. So, packed schedule there for that one. But of course, let's talk about our next game. They've been waiting for us for quite a while, so it's only right we talk about them. Team 3G versus Orgless. Ellen, let's talk about these two teams to begin with. Which way are you leaning?
Definitely Orgless on this one. They're literally looking so strong right now. And, you have such veteran players on the team. You got Josh, you have Nasty, who actually was part of the Royal Ravens Team War. He's honestly sick. Vortex, Harry, that's a strong team looking into the series. And they haven't even dropped a game yet. So Team 3G, I would like to see the underdogs come out on top of this, but I really think that Orgless is going to take this one. They're just looking so strong coming into this tournament. So strong.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, actually. It's one of these ones where we've spoken a lot about how much there is in this league in terms of competitive depth, right? Very many good players, lots of teams that could end up doing well and winning it here, but Orgless have started out strong. There's certainly a team to keep an eye on. Unfortunately, Team 3G really haven't had a good start, Tom.
Yeah, it's really opposite ends of the spectrum for these two, isn't it, realistically? 3G not with the strongest of starts. I think, a lot of people, we talked about there really being the top 6 and then maybe being a little bit of a break off. It feels as if 3G are maybe, I don't want to say out of their depth necessarily, but realistically, it's been a bit of a struggle so far, whereas Orgless have maybe, for me, outperformed what I thought they would do so far. 4-0 off the bat would be something. 3-0 right now, and they beat some really good competition. They beat Singularity. They went out to beat Connect 4 just this afternoon as well. It's been a really, really good start for them, and that change coming through. A lot of people question mark the dropping of Dave, which I think even us too. Well, is that the move you're making? In the end, they make it. They get one of the players from Obtained, who was so strong, obviously, in Harry. He moves over towards this squad. He's teamed up with these guys before. Looks fantastic on this team as well. And they're 3-0 for a good reason. They're playing so good at the moment in time.
They certainly are, and of course we saw great control play actually from B-Sport last night, but let's take a little look at our maps in this series and see how exactly it is going to go down. So the videos have been done, and this is what we are left with. Raid Hardpoint will be our very first game. Love a bit of Raid Hardpoint, just by the way. Then it's going to be Miami Search and Destroy, Checkmate Control, and then we're going to hit a double Garrison Hardpoint for the first one, and if we make it all the way to the end, we'll be seeing a Garrison, Search and Destroy. So I'll tell you something, I'm just really looking forward to seeing Raid done.
Raid Hardpoint. I've only cast it once, actually. I think it was yesterday. I think it was actually the very first map to kick things off, actually, which was something considering I haven't had a chance to even cast over that map since Black Ops 2. So it's quite some time away. But it's nice to kick things off here, of course, with that map. Miami will be coming up second, Checkmate third, and if we do need it, Garrison on the double header for Hardpoint and Search and Destroy. But yeah, very excited again. This one should be a good game, but Orgless will be wanting to go 4-0 here.
They certainly will. Ellen, just before we leave you, your prediction confirmation for this?
Definitely Orgless. I'm thinking they're taking this potentially 3-1, but nah, I'm thinking we're going to see a clean 3-0.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much. Let's jump into this cast ton and see exactly how this game is going to go down. Jumping aboard with Team 3G to begin with. Sorry, I can't even say that straight out of the gate. And actually is Niall straight away into the ring.
Yep, Niall inside the point here, but it was just those initial retakes coming in straight away from Orgless. Really well played. They are on point, and nice to see Harry kicking things off with his new team. Haven't really had a great deal of time to get things going, but Vortex yesterday, when we did just tune into one of their games late on, wasn't having the best time of things, but started this one off right. Raid as a game, a map specifically, he would have played way back in Black Ops 2. 4-0 start from him. Really controlling the middle of this map so well. Oh my goodness, Steve Vortex. That's 6 in a row from him to kick things off. 32 and climbing for Orgless here on Raid. It's been a hell of a start from them.
Well, there is a worry that they have been waiting for us to start this game. They could be coming in cold, but Vortex is anything but. Huge start from them there. You see him now trying to look towards basketball. Actually, see Niall sitting there as well. Completely guns him. And that will give them kitchen control. You can see a player pushing through Laundry and one stacking mid. Mid, obviously, not a great way to push here. And you will see 3 players trying to go around. See Vortex gets another player towards the mid as well. It seems to be flying around Vortex, getting an awful lot of interaction so far into this game. But it doesn't really matter because he's also making the kills ton. And they are completely rebuffing Team 3G at this point.
Yeah, 3G haven't really had a sniff of the Disarray trying to make the push through. Harry's just ready for it there. Vortex helping him cover, but here comes Aroma around the back. The pinch has eventually worked out for Team 3G, but is it too little too late for many points here on Kitchen? 25 points remaining. The pinch is starting to come in here through money, and of course Nasty through the front door as well. Disarray just trying his best to survive. Ring around the rosy. Nelly finds the third as well, but Harry eventually finds the kill and the next stunt in Niall too. So good play from Orgless. They will lock down the final 10 points, but this rotation over towards Garage is very, very difficult to break. Team 3G, trenches are dug and they are ready and waiting.
Well, this is their big opportunity to get some points back onto it. They've got the good spawn at the moment. They need to wait for this one. Steve Vortex is coming through. So is Harry. It's a big pinch coming in. Aroma's got to try and stay alive. Already, Orgless have managed to break into this one and flip them out. That is a ridiculously quick break. Team 3G look completely shook. That should not have happened that quickly. They needed the points to get back into this game. Fortunately now, here comes the opportunity. Vortex sees one though. At an instant gun. Genesis comes through, but Niall managed with the bait and switch. It happened straight away again. Niall and Team 3G break it right back, ton.
Fantastic stuff by 3G. Getting themselves back in here. Really can be negating this lead that Orgless have already generated very, very quickly on Raid. It's one of those that if you can get a couple of rotations in a row, you can get yourself set up. You really can find yourself with a lot of points very, very quickly. It's hard to break some of these setups if you can get set up well, and look at this. We said if you can find another good rotation, things are going to be looking good, but all of a sudden, Beast Boy Josh with the XM4. Fantastic stuff from him. He finds the 2 kills. The rest of his team do need to make their way through, though. Niall towards the back. It's going to try and find the pick, and he may be there for a pinch for this Team 3G side. Orgless, though, not in a bad spot. They've got control here as well. Nasty lingering around. Aroma's the first to go. Can he find Genesis as well? Not quite. The push from 3G going to come in from the front, but Orgless get the rotation, and that's a massive, massive moment from Josh. Finding those 2 kills over towards the basketball court. He's pretty much the one that locked it in only momentarily as 3 kills coming from 3G. They break right back.
They certainly do, Ton. That coming on the stage. He was only 2 and 8 at that point before he made that 2-piece, and now they've got to try and break back in themselves. They're obviously going to P5 in the middle. They're going to tend to relate rotated as well because of how difficult it can be to hold. And it does look like Orgless will break straight back into basketball. Now comes the rotation. They're not going to push through pillars. And it looks like that player is going to be Vortex pushing all the way through Art. And then you can see the 3G members looking for him. He's going to end up going down. And Josh just playing this slow here. There's XM4. He's going to try and hold one of these lanes. And it looks like Pillars is his chosen. Sees Genesis straight away. Another gunfight going down Paul stairs. Right now, Team 3G have the better of it. And if they and get time back into here, because considering the start of it, didn't go particularly well for them. And now, doing a better job to hold and try to get some points back on the board.
Yep, just swarming in that. This is where you need your players like Vortex to get in and around the courtyard and just try to cause trouble. Gotta watch out from Statue's side though. Genesis just walks through completely freely there. Nobody watching it from Orgless. All of a sudden, a break maybe on the cards to 3G. Once again, it's a push from the Statue's side, but this time around, Vortex is there, ready and waiting. Push now going to come through from 3G, maybe a little bit too late, but the kills all flowing over towards Orgless. Genesis is able to answer back though. Nasty just about surviving in here, and the majority of the time has been picked up by Orgless. Look at the rotation as well over towards P1 once again. They are first ones there. Orgless after the first rotation with a very, very healthy lead.
They are, and you gotta wonder just what exactly did Team 3G need to do to get back into this game. Right now, playing not gone their way. Could have been a lot worse, especially into the guns of Vortex right now, who seems to be pretty much having fun, almost running a 2.0. Could be a 2.0 with a shot punch that comes straight in there. That's a 4 streak for him once again. Nasty trying to get a bit more pressure on himself. He's going to go down. A little bit of a potential now for Team 3G to maybe regain their feet and try to make a bit of a push here. Bearing in mind how quickly this game is spiraling out of control, Vortex unable to get either of those coming through in the end. But rotation to kitchen will be key. Aroma's going wide for it. He's already been picked up. Nasty knows exactly where he's gone. And at this stage in the game, Ton, you've got to say, Orgless do seem a cut above.
They do. I mean, look, they're 3-0 for a reason. We talked about their potential going into this one, but this move for Josh into AR. I mean, look, Dave, fantastic AR player, but the fact that Josh is slotted in here and is playing so well in it, it feels like Orgless have really made the best decision right now with the way that they are performing in this league. I'm never an advocate of dropping Dave. I love that man. However, at this moment in time, it looks fantastic for Orgless.
It does. However, big push now coming through Laundry. 3G going to make this happen. Niall gets 2. That's huge for them. And now they're going to try to push him, but Vortex is here. He gets 2 himself back. Fortunately, that is rebuffed. Disarray manages to take him down in the end. And 3G do get some points now to the board, making sure they don't get 100-point clubbed, which could have been a very realistic possibility just a few seconds ago. Once more, trying to go for the hold here. And it doesn't look realistic like Orgless have enough players in this area to actually get this. They may completely throw it and go, you know what, let's go around the Lambo, get a bit of map control, and hold this one.
They really do need a couple of good holds, but I think for 3G, it's not out of the question here. If they can get a rotation over towards the garage, I mean, Harry's ready and waiting. There's one patient player from him. Should find the second as well. Maybe the timing not in his favor, and Vortex is there to help out. Genesis is next on the chopping board, potentially. Around the security truck, and Harry will find that as well before being traded out. But the point is that 3G, if you can get a couple of hills rolling, they're very much still in this game, but the problem is even if they are getting the rotation, they're getting broke so easily. The pressure from Orgless is unrelenting at times. Disarray will find 3 fantastic break from him out of absolute nowhere. It's a good opportunity here for 3G to pick up some good points.
Yeah, that was such a massive hold by 3G as well. They had the further spawn. Oh, we should have been able to overwhelm the numbers, weren't able to, and you can see them stacking here once again, and that's the benefit of being far ahead, Ton. They have the opportunity to fight for the scrap time if they really want to. It's going to go to another one regardless. Genesis holding it down. I don't think there's enough Orgless numbers here to actually end up making too big of a difference, no matter how much Steve Wallace tries to go in and gun. Disarray doing enough of a job to rebuff them now on an 8 streak himself. All the way back in garage, but here comes the rotation. Already, Niall's gone down. Genesis is by himself. You know he's here, though, trying to get out of it as well, and he does not. Orgless will now have control, and only 36 seconds left for them to win this game.
Disarray, as you said, on a bit of a spree here. They need a clean break, but it has become a little bit more doable for 3G. But look at this setup from Orgless. Yeah, good luck trying to get through here. Oh my goodness, Nasty lines them up. Aroma from the other side is not able to do enough, but it's going to be Genesis now. Left in a 1 versus 1, although Josh is in there from behind. Really well played. I mean, did you see that setup? Yeah, good luck. Once again, it's a very hard push from 3G. 10 seconds away here for Orgless, looking so good in map number 1.
That. Well, they're just gunning them coming down the stairs. They know that realistically Team 3G don't have another option. They've just got to fly, and fly they do. Unfortunately, there are so many members here, but Niall doesn't care. Niall going for 3, tries to get the shot punch, not quite able to. Just taken down, but it bought time. Nasty gets the second one as well. Genesis coming in, and it's still contested. What should have been Orgless's game, with the numbers in it, has suddenly gone into a big contest fest, and it looks like it should now be over with the final couple of ticks. Aroma not able to get there. But that was closer than it looked like it was going to be, and I say that even though it's 250 to 168.
Yeah, it really could have been super, super comfortable for the Orgless squad. In the end, realistically, it's still a comfortable game, but nonetheless, 3G tried to fight back. But it's very much raid, though, isn't it? It's one of those things where if you can get yourself set up for a couple of rotations in a row, things do look very, very nice, especially from P1 to Kitchen, or, of course, from Garage, and then it's that rotation all the way around to Basketball. 3G broke a couple of times very, very cleanly, but in the end, it's not quite enough to get things done. A really, really strong performance from Orgless, and I'm just super excited to see how they do in this first season. As we were talking about, the change came through. People questioned it. But with the start that they've had, they really are reaffirming as to why they have made that change. I think Harry in is a big, big one. The fact that they decided to drop Dave, they had to get a big gun to come in and replace him. It's not like you just drop him for somebody who could go on to do okay. There's plenty of people I knew who they were keeping an eye on. As I've mentioned multiple times, I'm good friends with a lot of people on this team, and the fact that they managed to get a hold of Harry surprised me, to be honest. The Obtained roster were playing so well with him, but
they were.
He maybe thought to himself, actually, look, let's go back with the team that I actually won a LAN event with. That's maybe what convinced him. He comes back into the squad. They're looking really, really good for it as well.
They certainly are, and of course here are going to be some of the highlights of that match that we just saw. And Ton, there were certainly an awful lot of them. We saw the big kill from Voidex come straight out of the gate there, 5 streaks for him. We saw a lot from Nasty at the same time as well, and this was pretty much the story of it. Big 2 pieces, 3 pieces, and streaks, mostly from Team Orgless, but you can't forget the fact that Disarray put on an 8 streak to hold down Garage.
Yeah, he did really, really well, and he was a big reason as to why the team got a hold of so many points towards the end of the game, and it became a bit more of a respectable scoreline for the 3G squad. Because that break towards Garage was just fantastic from him. Found 3 to break through and continue that on as we made our way over towards Basketball Court, but ultimately Orgless it was too far ahead. We talk about it so much in Hardpoint. When you get that much of a lead, you're in the best possible spot here, because you can just play for that scrap time, and potentially you don't necessarily need to be holding the whole time on these hills, because you've got so much time to find yourself at that 250 mark. And just a really, really good performance. They'd be very happy with that one. They'd be looking to go 4-0 after the first week. The perfect result for them. They've had some close games, but they've had some very, very tough ones as well. I believe it's actually, I will actually double check exactly who Orgless have went on to play it already. So they've already actually played Connect 4 today. Yesterday their games were tough as well. They went up against Gangsters, won that one 3-2, then won 3-2 against SNG. So it's not like their games have been whitewashes by any stretch of the imagination. They've been tough fought ones, but I think the one today up against Connect 4, who were 2-0 at that point, a 3-0 win against them, bearing in mind Dave's on that team as well, will feel really, really good. And that's their biggest win so far. Going in here against 3G, I would have personally expected them to win if this was their first game or their last game. I think comparatively, these two teams, they're not a million miles apart, but Orgless, to me, feel like a very strong team here. And honestly, I think they're far too much for 3G, and we've pretty much seen that map number 1.
Speaking of maps though, Tom, let's take a little look at the maps for this next one. So obviously we've already kicked off with Raid Hardpoint, and that was 250 to 168. Don't worry about the graphic, it's just math. Next we're going to go on to Miami Search and Destroy. And you know what? I'm feeling very confident for Orgless as we look through this already. Checkmate Control will be next, then Garrison Hardpoint, then Garrison Search and Destroy. So, Tan, what are we feeling for the Search and Destroy?
I mean, Miami's one of those, isn't it? We've just seen it previously be played between the Ram side and obviously Obtained, and it's very much about those AR setting up. It's very much about trying to find those long angles, but it can be very, very aggressive. Obviously, you get through Piano, start to get towards Purple. That's where you want to either challenge for that if you're on the defensive side, or you can sit back with those AR. So the defensive side can really dictate how they want to play it. The attacking side just need to adapt to how they are playing it and try and find the best way around. But I think it's a good S&D map. I think these two teams are both well-versed for it, both well-equipped for it. If 3G are going to get back into this game, this is how they're going to do it. I'm curious to see if they can get something going here, because the players on 3G are not bad at all. They're a very, very solid squad. I just want to see maybe a little bit more from them. Of course, they qualified through the losers bracket, but so some very, very good teams. Obtained, Connect 4, and Gangsters all qualifying through the losers bracket of that qualifier last weekend. But it's a good squad. They've got some veterancy in there with players like Nile, but Genesis, Disarray, Aroma, all these guys have been around for a decent amount of time in Europe as well, but they've always kind of just been on the fringe, haven't they, for the most part? I mean, Niall, way back, of course, we're talking like infused days for him, was at the top of Europe for some time, and it was sort of in and around it, but they kind of just, these players have been on the fringe for the most part for quite a while, and I just want to see them make that extra little push. At this moment in time, it just seems a little bit difficult to make that next step for them, and Orgless proving that in map number 1, comfortable victory for them, heading over to the Search and Destroy, though this is where their opportunity to get back in the series is.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know something I was thinking about actually before we ended up watching this game? Who would I like to see Orgless play against? They're already going through the competition and doing very well themselves, and I'm thinking, probably is going to be Harry's old team of Obtained. That's kind of the game I want to see. They're all Rams, who've probably given them very good games in the past as well. I know we're not going to get to see that Obtained game for quite a while. I think it's a couple of weeks away, actually, before we get a chance. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to see them further down the line here. But here's the thing, right? I've always thought Search and Destroy is a great equalizer time. It's one of those game modes where it depends on your breaks, it depends on your strategies. Big individual plays can very much change the fabric of how a round goes. So it's going to be one of these ones where 3G pretty much have a good opportunity for this one. And if they can be that specialist S&D team, maybe steal one of the next respawns and get to that final game. Saying that, though, there is a caveat in the fact that realistically, Orgless have gone to map 5 twice already in Challengers Elite and won both of them.
Yeah, things on the S&D front is looking good for them, it has to be said. So going over towards Miami here, they will be feeling confident, but I sort of just want to relay the sentiments of that Orgless against Obtained roster. That's sort of a game we're really looking forward to. It's not actually going to be happening until day 4, so that's the second day of the second week. So that will be next week. We're going to get to see that one, of course. So interested to see how that one goes down. But whilst we're here, let's see how they're going to do against 3G. Can they get themselves a 2-0 lead against this squad? I'm kind of with Ellen on this one. I'm predicting a 3-0. The way that Orgless played in that first map, it honestly wouldn't surprise me. But I said I feel as if 3G's best chance is absolutely on the Search and Destroy.
Well, better find out. Aroma managed to get a kill back there as well. Did he see Josh? I think he did. Josh knows he's here as well, but it doesn't matter. This raid's going to get him at the same time. And it's a little bit of a chaotic start to this Miami. Although, keep an eye on Vortex, because Vortex is going to try and put this bomb down. And bearing in mind they're in a 2 versus 3, bomb down may be their saviour. But Vortex has to get away clean.
It's a difficult spot for him to be in. Oh, has he been spotted? Yes, he has. And now, I mean, if you're Harry, you're not in the idealist of spots. But the thing is here, it's the angle. But they'll know he's playing it. They'll know he's playing it. They're checking around. They've got time to do their due diligence and find out exactly where he's not. They know where he is now, though. It's still not easy from this angle, though. There's going to be a couple of people staring at him, let's be honest. Oh, and there's his head.
Yeah, they were putting numbers. They
it's
were
a difficult
him. Yeah.
It's one of them, if you're on a 1v1, it's a great spot. 1v3, it's not necessarily the idealist. It's one of those things that maybe if snipers come back into the fray, we've got something potential there, but it was hard for Harry.
Yeah, and that's the problem. They were all aiming at him. They had just about enough time where they couldn't just jump on the bomb. That's what he was waiting for. He was like, if I can just get the guy off bomb, then maybe I can make this work. Unfortunately, not going to be able to, and it will be Team 3G. They go 1-0 up in this S&D to kick it off. And of course, let's see exactly how they're going to play off the break. And it does look like maybe they're going to go for that A beach push that has become more and more popular. Don't want to kind of funnel through any of the choke points around B at this time or get purple control. Going to have Disarray playing, watching that flank, maybe making sure nobody pushes behind them. Roma already getting tagged up. Does get away with his life. And that is going to give information to Orgless. Orgless may, at this point, choose to break away from B and send another player over just to prevent this A plant.
They're just pushing through purple. There is actually one member watching, and that's going to be Disarray. He's going to get taken down. There's a flank on the cards, and kills already coming through. Soccer Knight, this is around going over towards Orgless. But just to touch on your point, that more and more people seem to be going over towards A on Miami, as it looks like 3G are going to lose this one, Nile, in 1 versus 4. I think it's because it becomes more and more about picks, doesn't it? It feels as if B can be kind of chaotic, can't it? It's one of those that, you could play it perfectly and still get picked off by a random corner, so to speak. that A sightline is so open that if you just outgun somebody down that side, all of a sudden you're looking good. You don't necessarily, it's not so many different corners you have to check. It's just about making a slow push, making a methodical push. Whereas, as I said, be a little bit more chaotic. So maybe players leaning towards the potential safer option of A.
Well, looks like we're probably going to see pretty much the exact same play come out of Orgless now.
Looks that way.
And the problem is you still actually have to stack B, Tunley. You can't just give it up. So regardless of whether or not teams are pushing towards A, you can have one player over the information. That player will be Genesis. Genesis is going to go down. That A is completely open. And Team 3G now have to run the gauntlet across mid-street. No, he backed out for a second. Wasn't entirely enthused about getting it. But Roma back onto B. He's just got 2. This game has flipped in just a few seconds as trades come in from 3G. And they have the advantage. And now Josh, who went on the flank, has to try and get to position to save it. Disarray guns him down mid-street.
Well played there by Aroma. Got the gunny outside on the beach side of the map. Really well played. 3G in the lead. There you go. As we said, it really can come down to these search and destroys in this series. I would still really fancy Orgless to get things done across the board in this series, but you never know. Take a search and destroy, all of a sudden you get a control, maybe have a couple of good rounds, and you're talking the series is potentially on the cards here. S&D. I kind of hate the saying S&D wins championships, but it's sometimes true.
It's more often than not true. That's a scary thing. It happens an awful lot.
Wasn't there like a statistical thing that came out that S&D doesn't actually win championships? I don't want to get delved into
it's definitely hard points. But yeah. S&D teams only have to take a respawn if you're that good at S&D. Unfortunately, pretty much everybody who plays at a semi-professional or professional level very well versed in S&D. That's where an awful lot of people get their start. So, oh my goodness, Disarray gets stuck, and August open this up now. Genesis is left alone in a 1 versus 3. As we talk about it, and he has to try and get out top purple. And he's going to get gunned down. That's over pretty quickly.
That's always a tough one. I mean, that's what we say about B, though. It can be one of those you can push through, and there's about 30 million different angles that you can be shot from. That's the problem with it. You know, typically at the beginning of the game, when everyone was setting up normally, they had somebody over towards back bin, somebody be in the corner next to stairs, maybe somebody be in purple to try and stop the initial push there. It was pretty readable, but now it's a case of, well, we can just really spread out and just play the trades here. We understand the angles they're usually going to be pushing from. Realistically, if you're on the attack, there's 2 different ways you can go. You can go garage, or you can go through purple. You can defend from about, as I said, 15 million different places on B. It's just so much easier to defend. Whereas A, as I said, it could be about those picks, and that's where 3G have really had their success so far. It looks like it is going to be the case for Orgless that they feel as if that's their stronger side as well. But look at the aggression from 3G. Very, very pushed up over towards B. Expect the flank to come through, but good shots from Genesis nonetheless. Now a 3v4 in favour of 3G.
Well, Genesis going to try and maybe back up a little bit here. They know that Orgless are coming for them, and Vortex is going to try and get this bomb down. Now, they did this before and got taken out when they actually had better numbers. Vortex laying down almost gets his feet cut off, tries to get away and somehow does. Now, they've gone for beach control. All on 3G now to get this. And you can see them spreading out, looking for this, trying to get the different angles, pinning Orgless into beach. They've got 30 seconds to execute this in a big way. Disarray going around taking very, very quickly. Aroma now looking for Vortex. They're about to go for it. They're starting to run out of time, but they get 2 already. You're going to see a third at the same time, and that is an outrageous retake from Team 3G. They execute that perfectly in every sense of the word.
Fantastic. Just really, really well played by 3G. Orgless really playing in their hands here a little bit. 3G, though, fantastic. Genesis kicking things off here with a fantastic shot onto Nasty, and then it just fell apart very, very quickly for Orgless there. It seemed as if they crumbled a little bit. Nonetheless,
they only had beach control. That was the problem. They only had beach control, so they just got pushed right off bomb site. And you've got to keep an eye on it. That's the other thing. So it's so many ways to go through, and 3G, they spread out completely across basically every way to access that beach. And we're just able to cut them apart.
Looks like a B hit coming out from Orgless. A hasn't necessarily been working too well for them. Or for 3G, of course. Yeah, it's a tough one. Orgless really do like to take control of top purple every single time. I mean, you've got Vortex and Harry in there, but here comes the push in, the slide across. It's just about going to catch them out. And B now in the control of 3G. But this is a good thing about B. Once you can get this bomb down, it's a nice, easy one to hold. But Nasty finding Nile is going to make it a little bit more difficult, albeit the bomb is going to go down. Disarray is going to expect this from Josh. The aggression comes out. He thinks he's got an SMG in his hands, but it's actually an XM4. Genesis with the shots onto Nasty, though. Now on 1 versus 1, knows where Josh is here as well. Has he got a little bit of timing on his side? Yes, he does. And 3G with another round, 4-2.
Wow, 3G really bringing it here on this S&D. That was a great execute to get into the site. Like we said before, right? Not easy. Got to try and get purple control. Got to try and break through the garage. Got to watch the back alley. Could be in any one of these corners, son. And they basically did everything they needed to. 3G looking very much composed on this search and destroy, and in a great position now to actually nail down 2 more rounds and win it. But of course, Orgless, everything's still to play for. They are on the attack this time around, and the strategy around Beach hasn't been working for them. I'm wondering if they're going to go for it again, and they are. Same strategy as before. Looks like Josh will be watching. He's going to make sure nobody flanks, and he needs to really stay alive. That's the big thing for them here. They pushed out of this last time and caught his team unawares.
Yeah,
so
I think Josh needs to just play. He just needs to play his life over there.
Yeah.
That's all he needs to do. Look, he's in a perfect spot now. Everybody's pushed towards A. If they can get this bomb down, Josh just needs to do the same thing again, but he needs to pick up that second kill this time around if he gets the opportunity. At the same time, though, the rest of his team really do need to keep a hold of this. They've done well so far, finding 1 kill, and now he lines it up well. Played by Josh, playing that island that he plays so well. Desiree finds 1 back, though. 3v2. 2v1.
Well, it's all down to Aroma, and unless he's got a new perk on that allows him to defuse from 25 feet away, I don't think he's going to be able to make it, Tom.
That'd be quite overpowered, Brycey.
More than a little overpowered, son. And, you know, it was pretty much the same thing from 3G again here. They try to go for the retake. They're pretty good at executing it, trying to get that beach control come back. Unfortunately, with Josh still alive and hitting that flank, at that point they were like, well, we've got to try and shoot 2 directions and get to the bomb. We don't have the opportunity to push mid-map either. They started losing trades, and pretty easy for Orgless actually in the end. Now, Orgless on the defense, Team 3G on attack this time around. And again, we are pretty much seeing the same strategy come from both of these teams here. Leave 1 player to kind of keep an eye on front Purple Street and make sure nobody pushes out of garage. And then the rest of us see if we can hit Beach and try to get some control. Already been shut down a little bit by Josh, though. Josh on Overwatch, watching Tiki, watching Beach Cup. They're going to try and take him on here. Aroma's going for it. Been naded, though. He's got to back off.
Do have to back off. That was a really nice place grenade from Josh, just slowing the push down. Nope. Oh my god. Holding angles doesn't matter, apparently. Vortex deals with Disarray. That's 7-4U. Good at any range, let's be honest. Niall's now going to get picked off as well. This is looking more and more like Orgless getting into things here on the search and destroy. 3v2, though. Josh is going to get taken down, so let's say main AR over towards it. Gone, but Nasty towards the backside here now. Not in the worst spot in Visitor Center, but look at this push round from Aroma. Need to think about getting this bomb down, just clearing out all the areas you need to.
Look where Harry is. Harry will pull this as soon as he goes for it, and Harry takes him straight down. That was the issue. That was the big problem they had, is they couldn't rotate, and they couldn't plant either. As soon as he went for it, Harry was ready. I think we're going to see it here as well. Yeah, exactly the problem. Aroma was between a rock and a hard place, son. Yeah.
They took too long, that was the problem. You will... You can push towards A, and when it becomes so obvious, there's so many different angles it could be watched from your own spawn side. The vice was just tightening and tightening and tightening.
Well, I mean, they left the player to watch that hook. But unfortunately, Fordex just obliterated him in a corner, so that didn't really help.
And he just blinked at him and he died.
Oh, I like this. They're going to go for a big hit. Here comes the B push. They've tried Beach a few times and it hasn't worked, so here comes. You'll see it already. The big gun's coming down this race. He's one. Aroma gets another. And that was ambitious, but ultimately not very good.
I mean, 3G have set up perfectly for that, though, at the same time. Sometimes, you know, as we've seen what Orgless do, they push 2 up top purple, they go for control there. They were looking to catch them with the pants down up there instead, but at the same time, 3G are just sitting back. The classic hold at B is what sends them to map point 5-4.
I mean, we're going to watch this, and then obviously there's 2 back alley, but I mean, this is it's just a shooting gallery. Nobody was challenging back alley, or at least it didn't look like it.
If you are 3G, that is literally the perfect scenario for you with how you've set up. If you're Orgless, it literally couldn't be worse. I mean, it's just perfect for 3G. Well read from them. Orgless, the wrong call this time around, and now need 2 rounds in a row to send themselves up 2-0. Can 3G tie the series up?
Well, we're about to find out. You can see this time 3G opting again. Beach push towards A. Big push for Orgless into top purple. And they're probably already going to know, saying this hit hasn't come yet. Do we try and get somebody over there? And you can see actually that rotation coming in now. It's Nasty trying to watch mid-street. You would have already called that player balcony, and that's where the information comes in here. Once you start figuring out where they are, Disarray almost going down. 24 health points remaining. Vortex manages to get him again. And now they're going to try and get into this one. However, Niall takes down Vortex. 3 versus 3. Genesis spots one. Nasty manages to get away. This is a very, very tense game between these two. Bomb going down from Aroma. And Nasty trying to get into a position where he can do something here. Orgless now have to retake.
Oh, that's worked out nicely for him. The little distraction from Harry shooting over towards the hotel, and all of 3G moved for it. Genesis, though, needs to be cleared out. Is Nasty going to be expecting this? He gets away, and Josh is there for the trade. It's so well played, and now Niall. He was all the way back towards balcony. The bomb now being defused. Good shots by Niall. 18 seconds remaining. Can find this kill on Harry's maybe in business, but not going to happen. Really good break by Orgless. And was just patient. Just very, very patient from them. 3G maybe got a little bit distracted by the push coming in from the hotel side, but nonetheless, round 11 we go.
I just hope they don't try and run straight up purple stairs again. We'll see. And, I mean, Niall got in the right position to do it. He probably shouldn't have been allowed to get that position, but fortunately it had just enough time. Here we go. Round 11, and it will be Team 3G on the attack. I am suspecting they're going to go for a very typical push towards A. It kind of looks like they're going for... Are they going to go for a big front purple rush? Is that where this is going? 2 players already down there. You can see 2 players going in from...
Orgless already.
Orgless. Genesis trying to get down mid-street. He's gone down as well. And they changed their tactics up. They haven't done this yet, trying to take mid-street control, and it isn't working out for them, Ton.
Yeah, they haven't tried that at all, and it plays perfectly into Orgless' defense over towards B. They push up purple. They can watch the push through to piano. Josh watching mid-map from that angle. You could often do it from the A-bomb site as well. Doesn't work out for them. They lose Genesis. Oh, Harry, watch your head. Now getting an angle on him potentially. There's somebody very, very deep over towards the A side. That's going to be Josh. He's pretty much null and void in this round at this moment in time. But look at the stack at B here for Orgless. Top purple is well and truly under their control here.
Need a pick, Ton. That's what they so desperately need.
Yep.
They're trying to figure this one out. Oh, Josh has really gone out wide here.
Yeah,
he's played it well. Player. He's in Aroma. So he's going to try and get it. Try and pick him off as well. Huge kill from Josh. And now only 2 left for Team 3G to try and figure out where to go with this one. They've got to get rid of Josh all the way into face of the can't plant. Niall gets gunned. It's all gone downhill. And Josh decided, once no pressure came in, he was all sorted. Unfortunately, I don't think 3G knew that a lot of the time Orgless had been stacking purple.
Yeah. And that was the problem. Look, Josh is over there all on his own. It comes down to the fact that he can just take his time. He can just push around. If no presence is coming in there from the 3G squad, it's very easy to wrap around. You get yourself a better angle. If you're on that boat on the defensive side of things and nobody's pushing through Tiki, you're laughing. I mean, you're in a perfect spot. It's just so easy to defend. Really good shots by Josh. As soon as he gets the bomb carrier, 3G are in a really, really bad spot. But really good performance from Orgless in the end. A lot closer than we potentially expected. But as I was speaking about before, it feels as if that was 3G's chance to get back into the series. And it's looking less and less likely they're going to take the dub here.
Yeah, 100%, right? And we said, right, some massive plays during that game from both sides could have flipped it either way. I've always said S&D big equaliser with how much these teams practice their breaks and such. And obviously, as we kind of watch through the replay package now, we're going to see exactly that. Some of the key moments from the match that made such a big difference in the end. And obviously, there's the one from Genesis with the rest of his team, just managing to get that one defused just in time. Aroma somehow able to get in that position and gun 2 people as well, Tom.
I mean, look, it didn't look so bad from 3G. There was just a couple of rounds that didn't go their way. A couple of 1v1s didn't go their way. But ultimately, I mean, Orgless could have done a lot better here. It was the previous round where Josh flanked round behind. But I mean, this was the one that played into their hands. I kind of get what Orgless are trying to do. I really do. But in that situation, the problem is if 3G set up like that, it's not going to work, and that's exactly what happened. 3G just played that one passively. In the end, though, Orgless get it done 6-5. They won't care how they do get it done. 2-0 up in this series, heading into control. It's going to be checkmate as well. I see nothing but a 3-0. I see nothing but a 3-0.
Oh,
realistically,
okay. I mean,
they look so good on map number 1.
There is well. So I want to take a second to theory craft that round, by the way. That big purple push. The one where Orgless basically just ran in and got absolutely destroyed. Yes. So I
think in theory it's not a bad idea, but
I have a couple of theories about what I think happened or what they were expecting to find. If you look at how Orgless were playing that site, the majority of the time, they were going for a very dominant purple push every single time. So they probably assumed that the same thing was either happening, or they were expecting one of their players to fly and try and get that challenge back alley or move across. It was either a slight miscommunication about what they were trying to intend to do, or that they thought the setup was going to be different. Because clearly that was not a strategy that would normally work. There was clearly either a miscommunication or a misread of what the enemy team was doing. Because it just seemed, like I said, that third player sort of slow wide peeked it, and was trying to wide peek it in the end, and got gunned as well. That player had been there originally. That may have been a trade situation where they could have got a player into purple. So something could have happened there a little bit different if there's a few half seconds either way, or maybe a slightly different read.
Yeah, I mean, there was potential for something there, but realistically, 3G would just set up perfectly for it. It's one of those, though, in S&D, you try something different, and if it is randomly completely counteracted, what can you necessarily do about it? It's a difficult one, but into the control we go. 3G. It's a cracking start here. B control, it's literally already there. It's the perfect start. B, typically the harder one to get a hold of here, and Niles gets himself 2 ticks onto B. Good start from 3G.
Well, they might even sack this. It looks like they're going straight forward as well. Can they get enough ticks onto it as well? That early B control, you are right, Ton, is huge. And it's come off the back of Aroma on a 5 kill streak. He's going for the spawn now as well. Vortex gets Josh. Aroma gets Vortex. And this is about as bad a start for Orgless as you could possibly imagine. And then,
he's in such a good spot.
Finally ends up going down.
It's one of those that Orgless are so aware of the spot that he's going to be playing. You can watch across there and cut off the head of the snake, so to speak. I mean, what's going on with 3G here? They've just come flying out the gates in this control, obviously feeling very aggrieved of how that S&D's gone and how the series has gone right now. Josh doesn't have a kill. Nasty and Vortex have got 2 between them. Harry's the only one to answer back. It is absolutely flawed. That's it. That's game. That's the round.
That is the round. That is the round. And Team 3G only lost 5 lives. Which is insane.
It's not
outrageous.
It's not quite technical control in like Challengers Cup number 1 and 2 where defending was, I mean, super easy. Let's not get it twisted. But that is just so easy. Aroma pushes around left-hand side of the boxes, finds 5 kills, shuts them down completely. And then because of the pressure they've got in, it's such an easy transition over towards A. Well played by 3G. Aroma 7-1. Collectively, they're currently on a 9 streak.
Well, let's.
We're still talking about the S&D and the Nelly won the round.
Well, let's see if Orgless can answer back in any way, shape, or form. Nile already opening up here. Disarray as well. Orgless just being gunned all over the map. Harry, you actually make a kill for your team, and they have managed to here, and eventually ended up going down. And Orgless need to regain. Josh hasn't actually got a kill yet. Vortex has 1. Finally managed to get back onto 2. Doubled his kills from the first round.
I think the thing is for Orgless there, it's the bad start, isn't it? It just, especially losing the one that's typically sought after second, isn't it? Usually on this map. You lose that. Yeah, all of a sudden you've got no pressure that side of the map. You lost playing pressure completely. It's just one of those that's very easy for 3G to transition over, and I think Orgless will know that. They'll look at it and sort of say, right, okay, well, as soon as we lost B, that round was pretty much done. But this time round, can we do the same? It's going to be a push over towards A from Orgless to try and get things going. Disarray with a big kill, though. Vortex is going to go down. Don't have the best start of things yet. I thought that was actually Disarray finding that kill in the bottom left corner, but it's actually Aroma on the other side of things. And nonetheless, though, 3G, good defensive hold so far. 35 seconds to go.
And this is a little bit more normalised now. I mean, 3G still actually having the run of the show, but at least this time around, Orgless have managed to find something. But with time now ticking away, 20 seconds left to go, they've got to try and actually make a push. Big play coming in from Niall here. What can he do on A to slow them down? That's the first kill. Josh has to go for it because he's got to slow the time. He's looking for players back alley as well, but he gets it. That's a huge two-piece from him. Going to see Aroma up top. Just get 3. That may have just saved them on this control point ton, because they are finally going to be able to get this A tick over and done with. This was a phenomenal effort for it to happen. And Josh, by the way, was on 1-7 before this started. This is a 5 streak for him now. What a time to get your streaks in, exactly when you need it for your team. Now over to B. So much hard work to still do for Orgless. Can they try and make another big play?
It's about getting control of top lane. Josh continues the streak. Nasty inside the point, wants to help him out. Trophy to help him. I think he should get traded out here. Niall can't find the shots. Josh will find him and will eventually drop at 7. 8 and 8 for him now, but the damage may already be done. It's allowed Orgless to get a little bit of control of playing. Vortex is going to get spotted out, though, and he really is not being able to get things going yet. But look at the lives. Let's pay attention to them. 8 and 7. Enough time on the board for them to become very much relevant in this round. It'll be a huge one for 3G, though, if they can take this defense.
Well, this is where it gets tense, because if you're Orgless, you basically have to start thinking about making a move. You have to get onto B to either stop this timer or try and go for the full capture, and realistically, they don't have the numbers up. The respawns are now coming in. They're still trying to make these gunfights as well. You can see it's going to be Vortex and Harry trying to get into position for it as well. Vortex is flying out towards Wood. He knows players are around him. Down he goes. Big fight going on. It's nasty. He manages to get it against Niall to stop that clock. But it's a 2 versus 3. 1 versus 3 for Harry. Harry isn't even anywhere near. He basically has to fly out, and down he goes. Team 3G have just gone 2-0 up in the control.
My goodness. I mean, winning the defense on control is sort of kind of expected. I mean, checkmate, it's one of those that you still are really favored to win your defensive side of things. So 3G do get it done, but it's that first round that really is making it count now. They go into another attack, got no pressure. They know they at least have another defense to go here. 3G in the driving seat. And I mean, you have to point it out. They haven't been able to get play in control. Look at Vortex at 6 and 40, and that's where his job is. His job is to get inside the plane, use his SMG to his advantage, and try and lock that down. If you can get control of plane, you can control the map. Right now, they haven't got the presence in there that's finding the kills, and that's the problem. Vortex, I mean, he's kicking it off in a better way. That's an SMG, by the way. Make it 2-0. He finds the third. But the push over towards B comes in for 3G once again, and they've already got a full takeover towards it. It's working so well for them, this aggressive push towards B.
How on earth is this being allowed to happen? Harry's going to try and stop the bleeding here already, but it doesn't matter. Disarray is completely gunning as he pre-fires the boxes as well. Second tick now in for B, and this could be over very quickly, Ton.
I mean, Orgless probably want to just ban this map out for the rest of the Elite Challenges at this point. It's not going well at all. 3G have been flawless, though. Props to them so far. Everybody positive apart from Niall, and it's just going swimmingly. Oh my goodness me, Genesis! 3 in a row from him, 2 up top, 4 kills coming on through. I mean, send us to map number 4 at this point. This is done.
Just so we're clear, in 2 defenses, it's just broken it right now, but I was about to say, in 2 defenses this time, Orgless has only made 10 kills. Fortunately, it's now got a few more. Not a lot more, unfortunately. And eventually, it looks like that A might end up going in control here unless they can somehow pull off a ridiculous comeback. Something that has not been going well for them to begin with. Now comes round, says, thank you very much, I'll have that free pick on the Josh. And this could be over right now, Ton. Orgless have just been completely outplayed on the control.
I mean, completely. I mean, there's 1 tick for 3G to get in there. You know, if you're Orgless here, you say you win your defense, okay, or maybe win the attack next. Oh, yeah, you're still going to mount the climb, even if you do win this round, which is unlikely. You've got 8 lives remaining. It has to be absolutely flawless. Good start, 3 kills coming on through, but even Aroma finding that one. 3G are cruising here. There's 7 lives in the lead. That's just... I mean, it's just not unfathomable how 3G have played this so well, and Orgless have just been able to get absolutely nothing going whatsoever.
They haven't, and Vortex actually calls out the players going through plane. and he's trying to make a nuisance out of him. He's going to try and get it, but he is going to go down. Aroma finds him. They're trying to get this lives back under control. But it's all the favour of Team 3G now. They have the time. They have the lives remaining. They've just got to play it for one big retake or some decent trades. That's the scary thing, Tom. They don't really have to do too much here to win it.
No, they really don't. The lives were just too far gone for Orgless now, and 3G closing this one out. It's a 2v10. Technically now Nasty left all alone. Capture point is taken. That's a big control win for 3G. 3-0. Fantastic performance from them, and that's as flawless as you're likely to see on control. They dominated from start to finish. I don't know if they just maybe shell-shocked them with the B push. I mean, is that where it's really been the issue for Orgless in that scenario? Every single time they seem to lose a couple of kills initially straight off the bat, and from there, it's a losing game. Yeah, you really are going to struggle to hold that defense. If you can get no play and control, they had absolutely nothing of it. 3G deserved win as we hit the map 4.
Yeah, that was insane, to say the least.
It was just a bit
it's
bewildering.
That was a ridiculous. Yeah. That was a ridiculous game, and I still don't really understand why. Like, there were points in that game, right, in that control, where Orgless, they were retaking, they were doing great work. We saw them hold it down and start to bring the kills back into balance. So why, at the start of both of them, were they able to just run over B, take it very, very easily, and there was no answer from Orgless? Like, they were barely able to even touch them.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, because I mean, still the defensive side of the thing is favored. 3G showed that they didn't really allow anything to work for Orgless, and all of a sudden we're heading to a map number 4. So I mean, for Orgless, looking at 3-0 in the league so far, looking to go 4-0, clearly do have their faults as well, and I think that's the point that we have been making. For all that these guys are at the top and they're the only undefeated team, I still believe they'll go on to win the series. Don't get me wrong, but there's still issues in this squad. There's still practice to be done, clearly. Every other one of these teams would be looking at this and sort of saying, well, control doesn't necessarily look too great for them. Their S&D looks good, as does their hard point, but let's look at these controls and sort of say, well, okay, we can take this map off them. Where do we go from there? What's our strong suits? Where can we make this work for us? The point being is, though, is that all of these teams in this Challengers Elite in Europe have the potential to take maps off each other. And that's the beauty of it. Every single game we go into, we don't really know exactly which way it's going. We might have a good idea. We thought Orgless would win this. I still do, but realistically, 3G were very, very close to taking that search and destroy. They've just taken this control very, very simply. They could have very easily been 2-1 up in this series.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, if you look at that control as well, that is a 3G who would just almost like it's another gear, right? Straight away, massive plays coming out of them, straight onto it, onto the control, and they weren't having any of it. But let's take a little look at our maps now and see exactly what we have gone, and give you a little recap of what has happened so far in this series. So, of course, the hardpoint raid started off. Orgless looked fantastic. It looked like they were fully in control of that one. We get into the Miami Search and Destroy. Team 3G give them a very, very close game. Could have easily gone 3G's way with a few different plays. 6-5 though to Orgless. We go into the control and we're thinking respawn again. Looks like it might be Orgless' time to shine. Not the case in the slightest. That was a big 3-0. The 3-0 says a lot, but what really says it is just how dominating it was from them. Orgless were played completely off of the map, which leads us into our Garrison hardpoint, and if somehow we go the distance, Garrison Search and Destroy. Garrison hardpoint up next, ton. Is this going to be Orgless return to form?
I would think so. You know, it's a map that really does suit them. The SMG roles obviously weren't necessarily there on checkmate control, it has to be said, but it's a little bit of a different one, obviously, to Raid. Raid a little bit more orientated towards those rotations. Of course, rotations are still very, very important on Garrison. It's a little bit easier to break some of these hills, though, than on some of them on Raid, I would say. But you look towards P2 and 3, that's where the rotations really start to come in. That's where they are strongest. If they can do what they were doing on Raid, they should be absolutely fine in this one, but scary situation. I mean, they have to be sort of saying to themselves, right, okay, let's knuckle up here. Let's make sure that we do get this one done. They're very much expected to win this game. Out of the 4 that they have in the very first week here of the Elite Challengers, this is the one they were looking at and probably saying, right, this is a given. We should be able to win this one. They'll want to close it out in 4 here.
I said, well, let's see if that is what is going to happen. Garrison Hardpoint straight into it already. Niall with a shot punch taking down Vortex off the rip. Bit of time coming, of course, straight into P1 for these two teams. They try to get a bit of mid-control and flip if you are playing on the bad side. And already Josh going to go for that challenge. Big slide into him. And here we go. Looks like a good few points, actually, for Orgless. At least, at the moment, it's going to be holding their own. Now, Vortex going to find the Roma. It's a big kill there. And he's probably thinking, do I need to push for P2 yet? And calls that perfectly onto Niall. Vortex, by the way, has been playing very well, I think, so far in the series.
He has. Overall, a fantastic game so far. A fantastic series so far, but looking more towards this hard point specifically, 3G are set up very, very nicely over towards P2. They have lost quite a lot to Orgless, though, who will be looking to try and push on through. Genesis is the one to shut it down momentarily. Spawns towards the back, though, kind of work it out. But if you are 3G here, you set up on the satellite and you wait for this push to come on through. You got control of top green, so you can watch mid-map as well. Good spot for 3G, yeah. Good shots by Aroma. It's such a hard spot to get people off this. It's so, so difficult. Trophies down, what do? Look at the spot that he has right now.
The difficult part, sitting there, very much willing to just take any gunfight that comes his way. 3G in a very good position here. Looks like it's going to be a big pinch coming in from Orgless. They're trying to get through. Unfortunately, completely rebuffed. Now coming into top control is not going to be able to get a kill there as well. And Harry just left alone saying, I don't think I should really move from this position. He sees the player come through, managed to get one, will be taken down again. And Orgless is going, all right, let's back off a little bit and make sure we get this next rotation, because that has not gone well.
It really hasn't. Not necessarily the best there for Orgless, and will get themselves set up, and maybe they're reeling a little bit from that control. Don't look like the same team so far. Harry's having a good game at 6-3, and they look this one down. The timing for Vortex, nothing really going right for him, and now the team are going to be pushed out. They're still going to spawn towards the back, but that mid-map control that they had, that they want to lock down to make it more difficult for 3G, is suddenly gone. Orgless now have to set up back foot a little bit, if you like. 3G can't quite get through. Good shot. 3G trying to make the push on through. Orgless nonetheless, though, still in control of the hard point. Looking like they're going to pick up this final 20. Rotation over towards P4 definitely belongs to 3G, as they have green control, and that's paramount for this one. So we head over towards P4, sorry. Nonetheless, Orgless take a very, very decent chunk of time there.
They do, and that's been a great breakout from them as well. I don't know if you saw the fight going around Benton, but it went on for so long. They managed to get it, and they flipped it out as well. And that was big plays. I think it was Nasty doing the work in that zone. But now, just going to be watching Ven area. You can already see him. Somehow that player hasn't managed to get in box in the way. Aroma just making wood splinters fly over Josh's head. Not doing an awful lot else. And here are all the kills coming in from Orgless, refusing to let them get out at all. You see them trying to push up now. Disarray doesn't manage to get that first kill on a Vortex. Going to allow them to break out a little bit. Genesis gets a second. And now they're going to try and push. Disarray. Those people are going to be up top green. Looking for that player, and those players on the hill as well, but it will be 3G who come away better there in the trade. It's only going to be Josh who can try and slow this one down, but they've got a very close spawn there, Team 3G, and Josh is walking into a very tricky situation.
Push, isn't it, at times, but nonetheless, Josh has done a fantastic job. 14-7, or 14-8 now as he gets peeled by Aroma. But he's having a really, really good time with the XM4 at this moment in time. I mean, we'd argue it's probably the easiest gun on the game to use. We've got to give him his props. Other people are using it as well.
I'm taking nothing away
exactly.
from him.
This is what I'm saying. Like, everybody else is using it as well. But I mean, we didn't see me picking up many kills in Link play with it. Let's be honest. So I mean, it mustn't be that easy.
You're
right,
not
Steve?
Josh. Mate, you're just not.
I'm not. Well, I'm not a professional Call of Duty player. That's more than apparent. Let's be honest.
As we kind of go into this, as we go into this next rotation as well, you got to think Orgless are probably going to be riding high on momentum. They've been doing the majority and the bulk of the slaying in this game, and Vortex, being his usual fast self, moving through, trying to stay alive, eventually gets taken down by Aroma, as it will be Orgless who get back onto this. And the thing is, they don't really worry too much about giving it up at this point. We're thinking about P1 and trying to hold down 3G as much as possible. And that hasn't worked out for them.
It really hasn't. Now getting control of green here as well. This P1 now takes through, but Orgless nonetheless will be happy enough with their haul after rotation number 1. But I tell you what, it's been a good start to the second one for 3G. Kills coming in from them. They'll get control of green. They will force Orgless back towards the P3 side. Perfect spot to be in. I mean, no, Genesis, thank you. Okay, finds the kill eventually, and they will find all 4 actually, but this time around they pushed a little bit too far. Now Orgless spawning back towards that brick side. Will be in a good spot to get this rotation, but they're going to give up a lot for it here. 25 seconds remaining for 3G. They'll be within touching distance if they get the rest of this one.
And they look like they are trying to contest just a little bit, but eventually give it up and now worry because that spawn has flipped them out. They can try and watch the back as well, but Nasty is more than equal to it. He has let a player slip. And I wonder if he's going to just try and go back towards his teammates around bridge. Niall's here at the same time. Niall will now go down. Again, another split spawn. That's now going to be Genesis spawning out. And Orgless, who are just going to try to hold this next one, are probably going to get pinched, but fortunately more than equal to it. They end up winning every single trade they needed to, and with 50 seconds left onto it, it's a hard break for Team 3G. They've got to push through the guns here. There are several players looking close. Roman gets one. Niall now going to be trying to get a pick here at the same time. Disarray ends up backing him up as he slides into the point, gets down 1 trophy, but that's it. He goes down as well. Vortex gets 1, and it will be Genesis up top for 1 last kill, but I don't think he can push it.
No, it's difficult, isn't it? On your own, satellite control for Orgless, which is really what you want to lock in and get rid of that trophy system as well. But 21 seconds remaining here. If you're 3G, what do you count your chickens to just run away with them here and just sort of say, let's lock down that P3? They had a little stab at it. Nothing too much invested to try and get a hold of that scrap, but ultimately it's going to mean you're at least 1 hill behind here. Need a big hold, do 3G. Orgless starting to pull away a little bit, but kills coming in. 3G found the initial kills over towards that P3 rotation. They're really locked in. The trenches are dug and ready and waiting is Disarray here. XM4. Oh my god.
Big kill there.
How has he killed him?
I don't know, but you could have said that for the majority.
A little bit, but only 15 seconds to play for here. I can't imagine Orgless will invest too much. Disarray on the rotation over towards P4 though. And that deficit, which was about 70, is only around 40 now. 3G clawing their way back into this series one way or another. Disarray set up here. Orgless arguably have the better side of spawns and they will find the kills for that. The positioning's just a lot more advantageous from green side or from the catwalk. Harry in a good spot here as well. I mean, not anymore as Niall takes him down, but push now going to come through from vent room, and can Orgless set up for this?
See right now whether or not they can try to get enough points in here to flip this game back around. Looking for already. The trade's now going to start to come down. Vortex tries to make a move. Niall takes him down at the same time. Harry sitting there in back tracks. He's not going to be able to do anything either. Roma gets 1 more, gets the second. And that could be 20 more seconds on the board. Problem being is that Orgless have to come this way regardless, because obviously P5 is next and it's right through Team 3G.
Just not aware that somebody from Orgless underneath him. Should get traded out. Hasn't done though. His teammates covering him. Looked like somebody was making the push through vent, but nonetheless, Orgless pick up a good chunk of time over towards P4. If you're 3G, you need a good hold here, and you're right back in it. Good control here from Orgless, so just locking down that middle of the map. Have they really got them where they want them yet? Though not quite. Vortex is pushed up, just trying to cause havoc in the spawn. Finds 1, looking for the shot onto Genesis as well. Doesn't need to. His duo Nasty is there. The trade's coming out. Aromo and Niall doing well. But nonetheless, that control of bricks looks like it's in Orgless' favour, but the spawns are all over the place here. Nobody able to garner control, but ultimately, the important thing. Nasty on a 5 spree and Orgless within touching distance. 20 points for them for the series win.
And they are doing the majority of the slaying at the moment. But Team 3G know that they have to pretty much hold everything. Orgless can't win it here, but they still can't afford to just give up everything and go to the next one. They're going to try and push this one at the same time, going through. They're going to get the last few points onto it. Unfortunately, every member of Team 3G is miles away from where they need to be right now. They have got to do a perfect hold ton and then rotate and do it again. You see Josh in L at the moment, looking for the players coming through. You see he's going to be nasty on a flank. He's going to get 2 at the same time. Ends up going down, and there will now be Orgless on the hill. They might even just end up flooding this one as quickly as possible, because there's only 3 seconds left to go. I think that is game. Orgless will end up winning the hard point and the series 3-1 over Team 3G.
Yep, much more like it in map number 4. We really didn't see the best of them in that control whatsoever. But they get the job done nonetheless. Orgless will go 4-0. Number 1 of the elite challengers here in Europe, and you have to say, That's probably not what we would have expected. I knew they would come in and do well, but a 4-0 scoreline on the leaderboard, the only undefeated team in Europe after 1 week of play. Something to be said, they seem like the team to beat.
They certainly do, and that's going to be interesting keeping an eye on their progress as we get into next week's games as well, because if you are playing them now, obviously there is going to be footage of them you can watch, try and figure out whether they need to change your vetoes, how you're going to deal with some of their breaks, and figure out basically how do we take down this unbeaten juggernaut as we move forward. Ellen, thank you for rejoining us here on the broadcast. What are your takeaways from that game?
You know, I was actually surprised it was close as it was, but 3G, I'm actually very impressed, with their gameplay. I feel like, if they just kind of work out those kinks, they could actually, come back in this. But I just want to point out Aroma. Like, I noticed, I don't know if maybe they're kind of more that momentum team, but I noticed map 2, even though they lost that, he was actually popping off on there and, unable to close out though. But map 3 and then map 4, just the slaying power coming in from them was just so amazing. And it was really actually wonderful to see, even just right there, still kind of popping off even in the beginning. 6-0 to start, like it was just great playing power, but unable to close out. I think it was Genesis that someone was like 19-24. Maybe if they had a little more slaying power, they could have possibly maybe forced a map 5, but nonetheless, it was a valiant effort. They did really well against this powerhouse because Orgless, they're just looking so good in this tournament right now, undefeated. So overall, it was still pretty exciting to watch, and we'll see if Orgless can continue the streak.
Yeah, that we certainly will do. Great play from Orgless again to continue through in this one. And Team 3G certainly looking for better results. And if that game's anything to do with, I'm certainly going to beat some more people in this league as we go forward. Of course, this is the European section and the European games. You can keep up with all of it on the Call of Duty Challengers website as well. And for me as well, I'm very much looking forward to seeing not only these games, but games in North America. Let's take a little look at that right after this break. And of course, we will see you in just a short while, in an hour and a half from now for our North American region. There will be more games to come, and we will be broadcasting them as well as giving you an update on the standing and everything else you need to know to keep up with Call of Duty Challengers Elite. So make sure you tune in just a bit. We will see you right after this.